Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along to the Sports Corner Watchalong live on your Sunday night ahead of the UEFA Nations League. It is match day 5 of the competition. And of course, if you joined us yesterday, you'll know that there was plenty of action across the board in those 4 fixtures. If you're new to stream or you're watching this on the previous broadcasts, as always, do leave a like and a subscription as we are edging closer towards 1,300 subscribers. But tonight, we've got plenty more action to come in the UEFA Nations League. Lots of games and hopefully lots of drama to come tonight. It's a full house in the building. Of course, we've got lots of sporting action going on. So without further ado, kickoff is in just around 10 minutes time. Let's, without further ado, go into the first game of the day. Talk through the lineups and everything before kickoff at 7:45. But the first game tonight, the main game that I might have potentially the pleasure of watching is Belgium versus England. Of course, we try to cover every England game on the channel. Usually, though, we're quite terrible. You can see on the screen the home side tonight, Belgium, with a 4-3-3. They haven't lost at home in over a decade, which is a crazy stat when you think about it. Of course, the number 1 world-ranked team. Courtois in goal, back 4 of Vertonghen on the left, Denayer, Alderweireld as the 2 centre-backs and Meunier on the right. Midfield 3, Thorgan Hazard, Witsel and Yuri Tielemans. And then up top is De Bruyne, Lukaku and Mertens. It could also potentially be seen as a kind of 3 at the back formation with Vertonghen, Denayer and Alderweireld playing as the 2 centre-backs. Thorgan Hazard as the left mid and Meunier as the right mid, which I think is the way that Belgium will play it out. That's how they tend to play it. But of course, I'm just basically went off the UEFA Nations League lineups that came out earlier in the day. And then as you can see with England, they're rocking with a 3-4-3. And if you're an England fan, how many defenders are in there? You can count for yourself. There's quite a few. Pickford is in goal. Back 3 of Walker, Dyer and Mings. Left wing back for the first time in a year. Ben Chilwell comes back to the England squad. Right wing back, Kieran Trippier. Midfield 2 of Henderson and Rice. And then up top, we've got right wing Mason Mount. Left wing, first start in an England shirt fully for Jack Grealish. And then up top is Harry Kane, of course. If you're an England fan, yeah, there's quite a lot of defenders in there. It could be a pretty boring game of football for England, but hopefully we'll have a few more goals tonight, probably for Belgium. So that's the first game going on, of course. That kicks off at 7:45 between Belgium and England. Of course, the last time those two sides faced off against each other, England did win 2-1 in the end. But let's move on to the other game in the group. Of course, Denmark taking on Iceland. And to cover this game tonight is going to be Rowan. It's going to be an interesting game indeed, of course. You can see from the lineup on the pitch, quite attacking tonight from Denmark. But let's bring in Rowan. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good as always. Let's have a look at that. Go on, go for it.
As I realised, I'm rarely ever first. So, like, normally first we goes, I'm good, Josh, how are you? And then you normally have to try, the other people have to try and find something, but I can ask, how are you?
It's great, isn't it? I thought I'd change it up this time. I thought I'd tweak the system a little bit. Exactly. 4-3-2-1 tonight for Denmark. They've changed their system as well. Schmeichel is in goal. Left back is Steiger Larsen. Centre backs of Vestergaard and Kjaer. And then at right back, Daniel Vass, of course, of Valencia. Midfield 3 of Delaney, Christensen and Jensen. Attacking midfield 2 of Martin Braithwaite and Christian Eriksen. And then up top tonight is Yusuf Poulsen. Could be seen as a 4-3-3 as well. I'm not going to say anything about that.
You love him.
I mean, he's going to have to prove himself tonight to me. That's all I'm going to have to say. As for Iceland, get ready for some pronunciations. The easiest names are on tonight. Very best of luck. 4-4-2 for Iceland. Of course, they played off in the playoffs a few days ago. Lost out in the end, quite late on to Hungary. Renarson is in goal. Back 4 of Magnussen, Ingasson, Eyjolfsson and Sivarsson. That's the back 4. Midfield 4 of Skalassen, Bjarnason, and then there's 2 Sigurdssons in there for you, which makes it nice and easy. Gylf is in there, and then there's another Sigurdsson as well on the right-hand side. And then up top is Bodvarsson and Gudmundsson. So the usual 4-4-2 there for Iceland. When you actually look at the groups, I've got the group table up, as you can see on the screen right now, as it currently stands in League 1 Group 2. Belgium sit top of the group on 9 points. Denmark in second on 7 points. England on third with 7 points as well. And then Iceland at the bottom of the group. Iceland already relegated, Rowan. It's just now a case of these 3 sides. How important do you think it is for Denmark to go out there and really put pressure on England and Belgium?
Well, the thing is, so in Nations League, is it the number 1 go through?
It is indeed.
So there's a chance. I mean, I don't even know. The best result for Denmark would be they win 4-0 or 5-0 and an England-Belgium draw. But I think for Denmark, it's go there and get a win and prove that you can win games. You would have won 3, but the same as the 2. If England win it, but the same as the 2 elite teams in this group. So it really, for them, I do think it is just going on their performance, and same with England, Belgium. This Denmark game all ties into that thing. If that draw happens, Denmark have got a good chance of winning it. They just need to score a lot of goals, and they've got, like you said, they've gone very attacking, so there's a high chance.
It certainly is indeed. It's head-to-head as well, which it comes down on. So it could, of course, potentially work in their favour with England. It's not goal difference. We had a debate about this last night. So if England, of course, win tonight, Belgium lose, and Denmark win their games, Denmark did beat England, so technically they could still finish top of the group when they play Iceland in their last. When we play Iceland in our last game, but. That's Group 2 for now. Thank you very much, Ronnie. He'll be watching the game between Denmark and Iceland. Going to be tricky with some names, but of course we'll have to find out how it goes on. So see you in a bit, Ron. Thank you very much, as always. So that is the first set of fixtures going on tonight. Next game we're going to is Italy, who are facing Poland. It should be a very good match indeed. And to watch this game is Kieran D. How are we doing, buddy?
Hola. How are you?
Good as always. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to watch the Italians versus the Poland.
It should be a very good game indeed. Of course, you had a fantastic game last night, and this should be another good game. 4-3 for Italy tonight. Missed a few important players in that squad. Donnarumma is in goal. Back 4 of Emerson, Bastoni, Acerbi, and Florenzi. Midfield 3 of Locatelli, Jorginho, and Nicola Barella. And then the front 3 of Insigne on the left, Bernardeschi, who is undroppable right now, and then Belotti at striker. And then looking at the Poland side, it's a 4-2-3-1 for the away team. Szczesny is in goal. Back 4 of Reka, Bednarek, Glick, and Bereszynski. Defensive midfield 2 of Moder and Krakowiak. Attacking 3 of Josviak, Linetti, and Szymanski. And then up top is Robert Lewandowski. To give you an idea of how the group is currently looking right now, of course, Netherlands played Bosnia and Herzegovina earlier. That ended in a 3-1 win for Netherlands, which means it's absolutely paramount for both of these sides to go out there and win this fixture today. A draw would not be good enough for either side, although it would, I believe, still put Netherlands top of the group in terms of the head-to-head record. But how important is it tonight for both teams? I was going to pretty much pick out Italy, but when you look at the table, it's incredibly tight right now.
Well, I mean, I've just had a coffee fit, but it's a make-or-break game for either of these sides. Whoever loses is going to be in the Jesus Christ, in the in the doghouse. Pretty much, that's what I'm trying to say. They're going to have to win the last game and hope that the other team drops points. Do you know what? It'll probably end up being a draw, knowing this group, because everyone loves to draw in this group. Italy also love a draw, 3 already.
They do indeed. Hopefully, you're going to be all right, Kieran. We'd like you to still be live by the end of the game. Kieran's slowly down in the background, but as you perfectly put, you can see right now, Italy with 3 draws on the table. Poland 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. This really is a crucial game because it could put Netherlands with a massive advantage going into that last match. But thank you very much, Katie, as always. Hopefully you'll be all right. As we don't want you to downstream. That'd be very awkward indeed. But that is the game that Kieran D is going to cover tonight. Poland versus Italy, 2nd versus 3rd in League A Group 1. Let's move on to the next game because we are running out of time. 2 minutes until kick-off. We are going to go over to Austria, who were facing off against Northern Ireland. The last time these guys played off, it was a 1-0 win to Austria. Wasn't the most amazing game in the world. Let's hope he's a little bit better this time. And to watch it, he is the Northern Ireland, Josh McGuinness enthusiast. It's Kieren L. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a bit of both. It started with Josh McGuinness, but now I've kind of started to love the whole team. It was a bit like Iran. It started with Gucci Nejad and Yahan Baksh, but we love them all equally.
We do indeed. And well, when we look at the Northern Ireland squad, it's more of a fact that you are forced into liking the team tonight. No McGuinness in the squad. But for Austria tonight, 4-4-2. Pervan is in goal. Back 4 of Ulmer, Hinteregger, Dragovic, and Leiner. Midfield 4. Alba's playing left mid tonight. Interesting shout there. Of course, played it in the past. Baumgartlinger, Ilsanker, and Schläger make up that rest of the midfield. Then up top is Gregorish and Sabitzer. And then, as I said a moment ago, there's no McGuinness tonight. He's on the bench, 4-4-2 for Northern Ireland. McGovern, haven't heard that name in quite a while. He's the goalkeeper for Northern Ireland. Back 4 of Ferguson, Flanagan, Ballard, and McLaughlin. Midfield 4 of Dallas, McCann, McNair, and Smith. And then Washington and Boyce up top tonight. Now, looking at this group, Kieran, Northern Ireland currently sat bottom of the group. Romania sat in 3rd on 4 points, and then Austria and Norway both on 9 points. It's an important game for Austria tonight. Of course, Norway versus Romania is being called off right now because of COVID-19. But Northern Ireland, they have a really good chance here to take that relegation battle in the Nations League down to the final day. They played in that Plough fixture a few days ago. Is this a big opportunity for some of those younger players, the less experienced international players, to really prove themselves?
Well, they needed to rotate because I think, it going into extra time as well. We saw a lot of cramping. A lot of players were very, very tired at the end of that game. So it makes sense to rotate because it's not worth piling up the injuries, especially in, I don't want to say a meaningless game, but as you said, in this group, their back is well and truly up against the wall. They have to win tonight because if they don't win tonight, it's basically just out of their hands at this point. So still, they've got to go out there and try and get a result. But this Austria side are very, very good. And as you say, I watched the reverse fixture and Northern Ireland were never in the game. I kind of expect it to be very similar. But I am hoping for them that they can get all 3 points, if not maybe one.
Well, very best of luck indeed. Thank you very much, Kieren. As always, he'll be covering the game between Austria and Northern Ireland. Remember, as I said a moment ago, Norway versus Romania has been cancelled due to COVID-19, so we won't be seeing those two sides playing off. That game will either be called off. We won't see that game happening. And potentially we could see, I believe it'll be Romania who could get the points in that situation, or we will just see the game not played and really give that massive advantage to Austria tonight to go out there. The games have kicked off, but we've got one more game to quickly talk about. That is the Czech Republic, who are facing off against Israel. This is quite a big group indeed in terms of how the complexion of the group's standing right now. And to watch this game, of course, we've just had the Northern Ireland enthusiast. We've now got to have the Israeli enthusiast. That is Will. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good as always. Let's have a look at that Czech Republic lineup. 4-2-3-1 for the home side today. Vaclik is in goal. Back forward, Matiju, Brabek, Kalash and Soufal. Defensive midfield, 2, Kral and Suchek. Attacking midfield, 3 of Zhanko, De Vrede and Masipus. And then up top tonight is Ondrasek. And then for Israel, they're going with a 3-4-2-1. Now, I don't believe this, to be quite frankly, being honest with you. I'm just going to check right now to see if this is how they're actually playing in game. And it definitely isn't how they're playing in game. According to the Nations League website, it said Nerbitten was up top, and I was slightly very bit susceptible to it. I mean, we have seen Paddy McNair play as a striker before, but it's not true. It's a 3-4-2-1. Nerbitten is playing as a centre-back. Peretz is playing as a striker. Now, why the Nations League website had it down as Peretz playing as centre-back, I have no idea. So just flip those two players around. Otherwise, the rest of the squad is the same. Marciano's in goal. Tuafa, Tibi and Bitten plays the centre-backs. El Hamed, Galassa, Nachto and Dasser in the midfield. And then Solomon and Zahavi just in behind. Big game tonight for Israel. I mean, when you look at the table right now as it stands, Scotland on 10 points, Czech Republic on 6 points, and Israel on 5 with Slovakia in 4. Tonight, it could be a case of seeing who could be in that relegation battle at the end. But if Israel win, they could be in the race to win the league. How crucial is it for both teams, Will?
It's a massive game for both teams. Obviously, that loss, Scotland lost early, which left the group wide open. So the winner of this game will give themselves a chance coming down to that final match day to snatch that top spot off Scotland. I think Scotland did rotate, to be fair, but they still lost, and it's left Israel and Czech Republic now in a position where they need to go all out to win this game, and then come down to the final match day and they're still within a chance. So it's a massive game for both sides.
It certainly is indeed. Thank you very much, Will, as always. There we go. So there are all of the games that we're going to be covering tonight with the matches. As you can see, plenty of games across the board to keep our eyes out on across match day 5. There's a few other games going on as well, which we'll have a look in the background just very quickly here, just trying to find out what's happening. Apparently, Rowan can't watch his game. I try refreshing now TV if I was you, Rowan. Do tell me in the private chat what you're watching it on, but you can see on the bottom of your screen. A few more games going on tonight as well. Belgium, England, Italy, Poland, Denmark taking on Iceland, the Czech Republic taking on Israel, Austria taking on Northern Ireland, and then a few of the games you might have not seen going on. Hungary taking on Serbia, and Moldova taking on Greece, as well as Slovenia versus Kosovo. So there are all of the games that are going on tonight across the board. Of course, we'll keep you updated with the scores around the Nations League tonight. And do tell us, of course, as always, what game you are watching in terms of tonight's Nations League action. But just very quickly, going into the comments, Kyle saying, hey guys, we'll be watching the Belgium-England game. In my opinion, Belgium did not play like the number one team of the world last time they played England. They need to improve indeed. And in the Watford way, how are you doing, buddy? How are you all good? He says, not happy with the lineup. And I have to agree with you. I think it's a fucking awful lineup tonight. And it's very, very worrying indeed to see how it's going to work. So it's a little bit frustrating. And I mean, look at these first 5 minutes. Belgium had a few opportunities, of course. But it's actually England have got a free kick here. Could be the first big chance of the game. About 35 yards out. Going to be lobbed into the box by Kieran Trippier, which puts the ball into the box now. Trying to get it towards Kane. It doesn't get anywhere near. And eventually, in the end, it is cleared away. So good defending at the back there from Belgium. And I think, as you perfectly said, Kyle, when we watched these two sides face off a couple of weeks ago, Belgium didn't play to the strongest level that they possibly could have. But at the same time, I don't think England necessarily deserved the 2-1 win anyway. I think we had the stroke of luck with Mason Mount's deflected goal. I think the penalty that was given to us was a little bit harsh on Meunier. It was an incredibly soft penalty to give away. And as I said, I think Belgium tonight, and as you've perfectly put, they have to improve. Of course, they're the number one team in the world right now in terms of the FIFA national rankings. They've not lost a game at home in a decade, which, when you think about it, is absolutely an incredible record. But we've had our first chance of the night. Rowan has luckily been able to get his game on in the end, which is fantastic to see, of course. The other two teams facing off in the group, Denmark and Iceland. Who's had that first chance of the game, Rowan?
It's Denmark. I think as you were expecting it. I think it's Delaney. It's either Delaney or Jensen. I didn't see the original ball. Plays a lovely ball over the top to Braithwaite. Braithwaite then takes it to the byline. Just drills across the box, and Josef Poulsen is just at the front post. And I think he goes to scorpion kick it in. Instead, he kicks it out of play. But bright signs from Denmark in his early 5 minutes.
Certainly bright sides indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan, as always. Of course, this is such a crucial game in the group. Denmark taking on Iceland. But we have our first goal of the night already. We're going to be going over to Will because Czech Republic are facing Israel. Remember, this is an incredibly tight group indeed. Both of these sides desperate to go out there and get the points today. But let me just very quickly take that off the screen. Let's go to Will. Who's had that first goal of the night?
It's 1-0 Czech Republic, only 5 minutes into the game. It's been a pretty slow start, really, but Czech Republic take the lead. It's a very scrappy goal. The left back, Matejo, gets down the sideline, whips it into the box. It comes to, I think it's Derrida in the middle, and he outmuscles two Israel defenders, lays it back to, I think he's called Ondorasek. I'm sorry with these names, I've never heard these players before. Ondorasek, he gets the ball, takes a shot, and he just flies past the Israel keeper into the bottom corner. It's 1-0 Czech Republic, and Israel need to respond quickly here.
Thank you very much, Will. As always, greatly appreciated. Good to see tonight that Will gets a nice early goal in his match. Israel 1-0 down already in the game, playing a free at the back formation. Pressure on them tonight, of course, to go out there and get a victory. So as you can see right now with the complexion of the group, of course, we'll be looking at it throughout the majority of the stream tonight. You can see we've had the Nations League stands. Czech Republic go into second place on 9 points. Israel drop down to 5 points. Of course, if it stays like this across the 90 minutes, Israel will only be looking to fight for survival within this group. Remember, if you do finish bottom of the group, you get relegated. If you finish top of the group in League A, then you do go into that playoffs in October next year. So as it currently stands, it would be Netherlands, Belgium, France, and Germany facing off against each other in that competition in October 2021. But we're going to go over to KD now. Of course, he's watching the game between Italy and Poland. First chance of the night. We're about 7 minutes into the games. The question is, who's had that first chance, Kieran?
Well, Italy have started the brighter, and it's them with the first chance of the game. It's down the right-hand side. It's flicked over to Barella, who flicked it back with the back of his heel to the man who can do no wrong in Roberto Mancini's eyes, Fernando Benedeschi. Just sorry, this ball's whipped into the box, yeah. He had the shot on his left foot, and it was a really good save by Szczesny to deny the Italian from scoring. And good start to this game. Very fast-paced in the opening 8 minutes.
It's what you like to see. Thank you very much, KD. As always, if you joined us last night, you'll know that KD had certainly plenty of dramatic goals and action between Germany and Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine hit the bar about 500 times. Let's hope that tonight we don't have a similar situation indeed. But it's fantastic night of UEFA Nations League action. Plenty of games going across the board, which is always good to see. Keeps us nice and busy, and hopefully we can get a few early goals across the board because we have already had a goal tonight. Czech Republic 1-0 up against Israel, nice and early in that game. And as Will perfectly said a moment ago, it is the Hertha Berlin midfielder Vladimir Darida, 7 minutes on the clock with the first goal of the UEFA Nations League tonight. But for those of you that have just joined in and were wondering, well, who is covering each game tonight across the board? The main game is Belgium versus England. By the way, I have got a pink gin in this mug, so if the game does get quite poor at halftime, this will be getting refilled and probably be getting drunk live on stream. Italy versus Poland is going to be covered by KD. Denmark and Iceland is covered by Rowan. Czech Republic and Israel is covered by Will, Pete, and Austria versus Northern Ireland is covered by Will because Belgium have taken the lead, and it's Yuri Tielemans who's put Belgium into the lead in this game. And well, I thought it was going to be a boring match indeed. We've already got the first goal after 10 minutes, and well, they've had plenty of chances in these first few minutes. And it is the Leicester City midfielder who opens the scoring in this game at just 10 minutes on the clock. And well, it was a very similar situation in their previous match before, where Belgium took the lead early on. And it was a shot, I think, from outside of the box or just inside. It clips the right-hand side of the post and goes into the back of the net. And it's a really shoddy mistake at the back from, well, of all people, Eric Dyer. He's quite useless, and I'm glad Benaldo's not in the stream right now because he'd probably give me some slander. But it's Yuri Tielemans. He's outside the box. He takes the shot on. A slight deflection off Ming's foot, takes it towards the right-hand side of the post. Pickford just gets a touch, but his touch actually clips it onto the post, goes into the back of the net. Yuri Tielemans makes it 1-0. Could be a long night for England. Could be a long night of booze as well from me. Kieran, he's got a chance in his game, first chance of the night. He is, of course, watching Austria versus Northern Ireland. Who's had that first chance? Kieran.
We've had two chances, actually, because one's just come while you was coming to me. The one I was talking about, though, was for Northern Ireland, and it was down the right-hand side, and Liam Boyce was breaking free, the man who came in for Josh McGuinness. And he keeps driving because no one's closing him down. He hits it across the goalkeeper, just goes past the post. And now it was David Alaba on that left wing position, curled a nice ball into the centre of the box. The man there, not who you want to be trying to prod it home, Stefan Ilsanker, and he misses it because the man's a defensive midfielder.
Unfortunate indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. As always, Austria 0, Northern Ireland 0 to currently stands. But let's go over to Roman because there's been a penalty in the game that he's currently watching between Czech Republic, not Czech Republic and Israel. Of course, he's not watching that game. He's watching the game between Austria and Northern. No, he's not. What's going on? Where is your game, Rowan? I've right now got on the screen as you can see all the games. There we go. Denmark and Iceland. Third time lucky. That's the game you're watching. Who's had the penalty?
It's Denmark, and I think I can't remember who it was. It was Daniel Vars. Finds his way in the box. A deep cross comes in. He goes for the header, and I don't know who it was. It said it was number 27 on the screen, but there isn't a number 27. It was an Icelandic player. I think pushes him in the back, kicks him. You can't really tell from the angle. The other showed one, but it's a penalty, and it's going to be Christian Eriksen stepping up. Yeah, I think it is a penalty. They didn't really show many angles. Eriksen steps up, and he drills it straight into the middle of the net. It's 1-0 Denmark, but yeah, it was a strange penalty. There was no one around him, and he just fouls him. Yeah,
very strange indeed.
Daniel Vast as well to win the penalty. He just jumps up high, but he's jumped so high that even if he felt connection in the back and goes down, it's a guaranteed penalty. And yeah, 1-0 up. Not a perfect start for Iceland.
Perfect start for Denmark indeed. And well, Daniel Vast there getting the penalty. I've had a bit of a farce more than anything, of course. But when he's watching the game between Denmark and Iceland, they get their third time lucky in the end. So very quickly, let's have a look across the board because, of course, the two goals we've just had a moment ago do affect the groups in League A. As it currently stands now, you can see on your screen, Belgium, of course, do stay top anyway on 12 points. Denmark in second on 10 points. England would stay third on 7. So, of course, they wouldn't get relegated at all. England, Iceland already down. But they've got to go out there and win tonight because pretty much a big game, of course. Belgium would be taking on Denmark in that next match. You would pretty much be safe to say that Belgium would be expected to go on, of course, and go through to the knockout stage of the Nations League in 2021. But as it currently stands, it's still Denmark 1, Iceland 0, and Belgium 1, England 0. And, of course, Belgium here looking fairly solid in this game so far. Although a moment ago, just after we had the original chance in the game to put Belgium into lead from Yuri Tielemans, there was a moment pretty much instantly afterwards from a corner for England. Harry Kane with a strike on goal that Courtois had to save. And we very nearly had an equaliser within, about 2 minutes at tops. So England looking to get back into this game fairly quickly indeed. But we are going to go over very quickly to talk about the Austria-Northern Ireland game. Dragovic, early yellow card in this match. He's gone into the book, which is certainly what you don't want to be seeing early on. A yellow card we saw last night in that game Kieran watched. He had a red card Are we going to have another red card tonight? We'll have to find out indeed, but it's still 0-0 between Austria and Northern Ireland. But let's have a quick look at the chat right now. Carl's putting, coming from a non-Englishman, what are your thoughts on Gareth Southgate? Has he improved England since he was given the job? No, I don't think. I'd say, do you know what? England's proved a little bit slightly. I think the aura around Liverpool there. The aura around England has changed when the World Cup was on, but that was expected because England was on a good run, and of course the whole nation comes together for a World Cup. But ever since that point, ever since we've been at that World Cup and things have changed, I think you look back now, England had a very favourable run throughout that tournament. We never really came up against any of the big nations apart from Croatia. Of course, Colombia is still a fairly big nation on their day. That was our biggest test, I think, out of all of the teams that we played apart from Croatia. But I think right now, if we're looking over the last couple of months, the aura around Gareth Southgate is starting to slowly diminish. I think there's a lot of people frustrated with his tactics, although very quickly here, England have got a chance to come forward. Harry Kane lays the ball to Jack Grealish at the edge of the box. He tries to curl the ball towards the top right-hand corner, but his shot is deflected and it lands at the feet of Courtois. So I think England's slowly getting worse. I think, in fact, just look at the chat right now. KD says, I think England get worse every time we play, to be honest. I think it's so defensive in terms of how we play. We've got 5 defenders on the pitch. Declan Rice is technically a defensive midfielder, so you could count it as 6. It's quite depressing to watch England right now with how we play, but I guess we're still grinding out results to a certain extent. But is it going to be much longer for Gareth Southgate? I think if England don't do well at the Euros, we'll be saying goodbye to Gareth and thanks for the memories of the World Cup. But that's about as good as it gets. But as for now, he's still the manager. And as for now, we could have been 1-1 in this game. It was actually Lukaku. Courtois did get a touch of the ball, but Lukaku was just behind him as Kane had that shot. So it did come off Lukaku as well. Very good work from the striker there, just doing a bit of defensive action for the home side and keeping Kane from instantly getting an equaliser in this game. But there's a good spread of play here from Belgium. On the right wing right now is Thomas Meunier. Lovely bit of trickery from him. Lays the ball off to De Bruyne, who's going to lob a ball into the box. And unfortunately, there's no one there. But Eric Dyer is an absolute stupid tosser. Nearly smashes it into his own net. Honestly, useless. Absolutely useless. I'm glad, as I said, Bernardo's not in the stream because, he's a Spurs fan, and I guess he wouldn't like to hear Eric Dyer slander, but he just nearly smashes it into his own net. He's an absolute donkey, and I think, when you look at this back three idea for England, it's incredibly frustrating at times. But we've got a corner here for Belgium. Big chance here for maybe Romelu Lukaku to put the ball into the back of the net. Let's quickly find out here before we have a look and see if there's any other chances across the board. De Bruyne sprays the ball into the box. Good clearance in the end away from Ben Chilwell, and it isn't going to come to anything, unfortunately. We haven't had any other moments in the game so far across the board, but there has been 3 goals on the night across the Nations League so far. Belgium taking the lead against England. It was Yuri Tielemans in I think it was the 9th minute when the goal went into the back of the net. Denmark took the lead against Iceland a few moments ago. Christian Eriksen slotting a penalty into the back of the net. And the Czech Republic with the first goal of the night, Vladimir Darida, with that first goal of the Nations League tonight, 7 minutes into the game. Welcome along to the stream. Brammy says, do you think that Netherlands going through the competition, I'm guessing, with Italy and Poland in their pool? I think Netherlands will go through, I have to say. I think the next match that the Netherlands play, which is on Wednesday night, I think, they play Poland, and you would probably expect them to go out there and get a win in the match. So I think we will see Netherlands go through into the knockout section of the competition. So it should be interesting indeed. But we have had a goal elsewhere in one of the matches tonight. As I said, not covering this game, but Serbia have taken the lead against Hungary. That's a fairly decent game tonight. Nemanja Radonjic with the first goal of the game, 17 minutes on the clock. So we'll have a look at how the complexion of the group looks in just a moment's time. But big there for Serbia, of course. Those two teams currently sat in the group 3. So when you actually look at the screen right now, let me take that off the screen for a moment. With Serbia taking the lead in that game, that is an incredibly even group. We could be going down to the final day and it all being relied on goal difference. Of course, Russia took on Hungary early. What a game of football that was. 3-2 winning the end for Turkey. Probably one of the best Nations League games there's been of the year so far. And then, of course, the game between Serbia and Hungary going on. Serbia taking the lead. It puts them well and truly back in the race for potentially going through, which is mad. But it's nice to see the Nations League bringing up some competitive action across the board throughout those groups. And as we said, as the goals do go in tonight, we'll keep you updated with how the groups are looking. We've only got one more match day to come. 2 days of action. That's on Tuesday and Wednesday. So do keep your eyes fixated on our channel, because if you do leave a like subscription as always. Plenty more watch-alongs to come. But let's go to Rowan, because there has been a chance in his game between Denmark and Iceland. I got it right this time. The question is, who's had that chance, Rowan?
It could have been Denmark 2-0. Braithwaite plays a lovely ball through to the lane, who takes it to the byline, squares it. Sorry, the corner came in. Squares it across the middle. Christian Eriksen's open. It's a bit of an awkward ball. It bounces up and he has to take the ball on. The cross comes in though. Well, it goes nowhere. He has to take the ball, runs it a bit through, takes a shot. I think it's Bodvarsson. I think there's a lot of. You've given me the worst names today. Ingarsson comes across and makes a sliding tackle, just to stop the shot. But yeah, Denmark are doing very well here. They're doing very well.
Very well indeed. And I apologise, there's some tricky names tonight for you to pronounce, Rowan. It's a nightmare. We will do indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan, as always. Denmark 1, Iceland 0 in that match. And of course, if you saw the lineups for both teams tonight, there's a few tricky names to pronounce in terms of the Iceland squad. So it should be a good game indeed. But we are going to go to KD because he's had a goal in that game. Italy taking on Poland in one of the League One fixtures. Who's taken the lead, Kieran?
Oh, it's a lovely goal from Lorenzo Insigne to give Italy the lead. It's a great, great goal. I mean, actually, I think he might have been disallowed here. Well, the throw-in was initially taken quickly after sweeper keeper Szczesny came off his line to head it out for a throw-in. The initial throw-in was taken quickly, thrown in, and Barella puts it back across the box. Insigne volleys it, but I think it's been disallowed, because Belotti has been penalised for infringing Szczesny's, getting to the ball. The goal has been disallowed, so it's still 0-0. Really
very unfortunate indeed. Do you think it's, well, actually, more than saying it's unfortunate, do you think it's unfortunate or do you think it's the right decision?
To be honest, looking back at it, I think it is the right decision because Belotti literally is stood on the goal line with Szczesny. So,
certainly, you'd say in the context of that is the right decision indeed. But unfortunately, no goals so far in that game disallowed. Thank you very much, Kieran D, as always. Insigne 4. He got Italy into the lead in that match, but it has been ruled out because of Andrea Belotti just being towards Szczesny. And therefore, it's going to stay Italy 0, Poland 0 as for now. But we've had plenty of chances so far across the board. If you're wondering what the 5 main games we're covering tonight across the board are, of course, Belgium, England is that main game which I'm covering, which I've not really had much to say about it so far. It's been fairly quiet over these first 20 minutes, apart from that goal which Yuri Tielemans scored. Kieran D covering Italy against Poland. That's another big match tonight. Denmark taking on Iceland, which is the other game in this group alongside England and Belgium. Czech Republic taking on Israel. That's a big one for the Scottish side of the Nations League. Of course, Scotland at the top of the group in that one. And then Austria and Northern Ireland, of course, another one of their respective home nations. Northern Ireland trying to get some points on the board. But we have a free kick here for Belgium in a very, very good position indeed. And, well, Declan Rice has been judged to have fouled Kevin De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's gone to take on the long-range effort, and I think it's the right decision at the end of the day. He's gone to take on the volley. Declan Rice gets in front of him, just clips his knee slightly, which is not really what you want to be seeing. And that's been adjudged to be a free kick. In a very good position here for Kevin De Bruyne to hit. And, well, if Belgium can make it 2-0 after 20 minutes, you would start to be looking at England and saying, could this become a little bit more embarrassing? Of course, they've had a fairly decent start to this match so far, Belgium. And if anybody can smash in a free kick, it's that man, Kevin De Bruyne. So let's see what happens here. Jordan Pickford just adjusting his wall, of course. His initial save actually flicked the original first goal from Yuri Tielemans onto the post and into the back of the net. But there's 2 players standing over it, Dries Mertens and Kevin De Bruyne. And I'd be very surprised if Kevin De Bruyne isn't the player to take the free kick. About 25 yards out from goal. Big opportunity for the Belgians to double their lead. It's actually going to be Mertens who takes it. Oh, what a lovely goal that is. It's 2-0 to Belgium. It's Dries Mertens with a lovely free kick into the back of the net. And I didn't think he would take it, to be quite frankly honest with you. I thought it was going to be De Bruyne, and it's actually lovely to see Dries Mertens. He runs over to Roberto Martinez, and all of the players have gone over to celebrate with Martinez. Belgium are 2-0 up. England look like pure shit. Gareth Southgate out, honestly. Poor performance. And while they're showing Mason Mount, not much he could do about it. And to be honest, there's not much Jordan Pickford could have done either. It's just an absolutely outstanding free kick from the Napoli winger / forward, the Napoli all-time top goal scorer, if I say so myself. And as I said, I thought Kevin De Bruyne was going to take that free kick. He doesn't, leaves it for Mertens, and it's a pitch-perfect free kick. Belgium 2, England 0, Southgate out all the way, Roberto Martinez in. I don't think anybody would be certainly saying that before. And to be honest, I don't think anyone ever thought Roberto Martinez would do as well with Belgium, but here we are. They're doing a very good job indeed. Of course, first right now in terms of the international rankings. And we said at the beginning of the show they had to put in a better performance tonight to really prove themselves. Not necessarily because England are good, because we're quite shy, to be honest, but more the fact that if they want to go through into that knockout stages, tonight was the night to really get a result. And, well, 2-0 after 25 minutes. As I said before, England have to get the next goal, or this could become quite worrisome for England as we head towards the 25th minute mark of this match. Nervy times indeed. But Belgium 2, England 0. Dries Mertens with a lovely finish. Of course, that really does help out Belgium's goal difference, just in case that does come into account at any point if head-to-head doesn't work. But, of course, they've got that 2-point advantage right now with Denmark, so they should be fine indeed. And they play off against Denmark in their last match on match day 6. So they'd only need to get a point realistically against Denmark, and then they're through to the knockout stages, which is in October 2021. So by the time it comes around, you'll have forgot this tournament has ever existed in the first place. But 25 minutes on the clock here. Belgium 2, England 0. Italy 0, Poland 0. Italy had scored a goal in that game, but it was disallowed in the end. Denmark 1-0 up against Iceland, courtesy of a Christian Eriksen penalty. Czech Republic 1, Israel 0. Vladimir Darida with the opening goal in terms of the Nations League tonight after 7 minutes on the clock. And then Austria 0, Northern Ireland 0. Doesn't sound like there's been many chances over the last few minutes. And then you can see on the bottom of your screen as well a couple of the other games going on tonight. Hungary 0, Serbia 1. Radonjic with the goal in that game to put Serbia into the lead. Slovenia 0, Kosovo 0 as well, and Moldova Greece 0. And as you can see as well, Romania-Norway has been cancelled. That is due to COVID-19. Unfortunately, a few COVID cases means that game has unfortunately been called off. Whether that game gets played or not, I really don't know. I don't think it will be. But, of course, we'll have to find out indeed with that, because that would have been a fairly decent game tonight. Carl says, I didn't think that was a free kick. Rice won the ball, and De Bruyne kicked Rice, but that's just my opinion. I mean, to be fair, Kyle, you're probably right in that respect. It probably is a little bit harsh, maybe, in the respect of how it's given. I thought it was a free kick at first, and maybe because I've only seen the initial first glance of it, so maybe seeing it in slow motion would have been a bit more better to decide whether it was a free kick or not. But either way, Belgium won't care right now because they've got that 2-0 lead. They'll be absolutely delighted. As Ravens 8 joins us, remember me from last Sunday? Of course we do, Ravens. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're all good. I know you'll be watching NFL right now, which is exactly what the 4 boys are doing as well. But England are coming forward here. Jack Grealish trying to lay a ball into the box towards the path of Harry Kane, and Mason Mount inside there. It's cleared away by Toby Alderweireld, and that was a very good chance to put England back into the game. But we're going to go over to KD because there's been a penalty between Italy and Poland. Who's got that penalty, Kieran?
Well, it's Italy, and Jorginho, of course, has scored the penalty. Silly penalty to give away, really. There was a ball whipped in, and Krychowiak's all over the back of Belotti. It's a stonewall penalty. He gets the yellow card as Krychowiak as well, so he's got to be careful for the rest of the game. But advantage Italy in the 27th minute, and they have been the better side. They do deserve the lead, 1-0.
Thank you very much, KD. Sounds like that has been a fairly good game so far. Lots of opportunities early on in that match for Italy to take the lead. Of course, they had the disallowed goal early, courtesy of Roberto Insigne. Andrea Belotti was the player, unfortunately, that committed to that being offside. But they have now taken the lead, and certainly a good start there for Italy, because when you actually look at the group as it currently stands, which we'll get that up on the screen right now, you can now see that Italy goes to the top of the group on 9 points, Netherlands in second on 8, Poland in third on 7th. Of course, Bosnia tonight have been relegated out of the group, which is very unfortunate for them. But of course, you could kind of say they've not really turned up in the Nations League at all, which is a real shame for them. Although I think they did get a 0-0 draw, didn't they, against Netherlands at one point. But we've got a corner here for England. And it's absolutely detrimental here that this is put into the back of the net, or at least an opportunity on goal. We saw a corner earlier, which Kane had cleared off the line, but it's going to go into the box now. Tried to guide it towards Tyrone Mings. Well, it's absolutely just a pretty awful cross into the box, and eventually it doesn't lead to anything in the end. But Raymond's put yes. Sportsnet decided to be evil and not show the football tonight, which is certainly gutting indeed. But hey, you've got NFL action, which all four boys right now are watching NFL, no doubt. And then Chris has put, hi mate, hope you're well. Hope you're all good as always. Chris, nice to see you in the stream. And Chris, and our delusional country fan base said we'll win tournaments. Absolute Muppets. I agree with you, Chris. Unbelievable. Us getting through to the Nations League was never going to happen. And well, it's been quite a shoddy performance so far, but quite a good performance for the Belgians. I'm actually really enjoying watching Belgium play right now. Just a very good side. And I think the team celebration was lovely to see. Of course, all going towards Roberto Martinez and all the hugs and things like that, which is fantastic to see. So really nice. Although there's a chance here for Harry Kane to come forward. Courtois just dilly-dallying with the ball at the back there. Kane just a little bit too slow to get to the ball, and eventually it won't come to anything in the end. Although England have got the ball back here. Can they press forward? They really need the next goal, or this could become a little bit of a worrying match. But we've got a yellow card in the Italy game. Belotti has gone into the book after half an hour, which is certainly not good for him early on into the game. But England were coming forward then. Nothing coming of it. And now Lukaku can hit on the break here. But really good defending from Tyrone Mings on that right-hand side of the pitch. Just stops the attack. Now, Ravens is putting some of the NFL scores in the chat right now. Now, the only problem is you're probably asking the worst person here to try and go through these NFL scores. Now, I know Seattle's the Cardinals, who were 26-17. Philadelphia, 17-21. Kieran's saying no. Do me a favor. I'm bringing you on the stream, Kieran. It's not the Cardinals, is it?
No, Tampa Bay are beating Carolina.
Darn it.
Yeah.
This is how you can tell I don't watch NFL.
Sorry, yeah. Tampa Bay are beating Carolina. Go on. Philadelphia beating the New York Giants.
And that's all that's been put in for now. I felt so confident, and I thought it was the Cardinals. Unbelievable. Thank you, Kieran. Do me a favour there. As you can tell, of course, the boys, they all watch NFL. I don't. It's not messing with my thing. And then Raymond's put Tampa scored a field goal. It's 29-17. Definitely keep the boys updated in the chat. And then Chris put Southgate says no competition for Pickford. I have no words. Well, honestly, it's absolutely mad right now. I've just seen the chat, though. My team apparently in NFL is 8-0, which, of course, is always indeed unbeaten. We'd love to see it. Hopefully, it's 9-0 by the end of tonight. I'm guessing I think they play tonight. Off the top of my head. But we've got 15 minutes of action left here. Still 2-0 to the Belgians. We haven't had any other goals elsewhere across the board. But let's have a look at the chat as well. There has been another score put in the chat. Now, I'm going to take a guess here. Thumbs up, boys. Now, I can see right now on the bottom of my screen, the boys. Is that is it the Cleveland's? CLE? It is. Yes. I've got one right. Big dubs there. We love to see it. I'm not going to try and guess the other one. I feel like it could be to do with Houston. That's my guess. It is indeed. Oh, 2 right, honestly. Learning NFL on the go here. We love to see it. Well, Cleveland 3-0 up. Of course, probably not called Cleveland's. All I thought at first was Cleveland Brown, but that's, of course, Family Guy. Will's put well done, Josh. Honestly, buzzing right now. But is it actually Cleveland Browns? It is as well, honestly. Unbelievable. I don't know why I thought Family Guy. Absolutely crazy. There's been another goal elsewhere tonight. Moldova taking on Greece, of course. There has been a goal in that game. Greece have taken the lead in that match. 1-0 in that game. Kostas Fortounis, the Olympiakos attacking midfielders, got the goal in that game. So good start there for Greece early on in the match. But Ravens has put Houston Texans. There we go. Up Ravens there, giving me a bit of knowledge on the NFL as we go along here. But 32 minutes on the clock as it currently stands. Belgium 2, England 0 as it currently stands. There's been a chance, though, in the game between Czech Republic and Israel. Rowan, who's had that chance?
What game?
Well, you put moment, not chance. There we go.
Yeah.
That one.
There you go. He's having too many pink gins. Well, that's the thing. I put chance. But that's why I put next to it, because it wasn't a chance, it's a moment. Braithwaite hits a lovely volley outside the box, and it rattles an Icelandic player in the head. I mean, he goes down, and the referee immediately blows his whistle. and calls for a free kick.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I think he's given a free. It was Ingarson who had the ball, and he just went down straight away. The ref did the smart call actually, and just called for it. The problem is, the ball was given back to Iceland. So he called. Yeah, so we called for a foul, but it was Braithwaite hitting the shot. It should have been like a dead ball or give the ball back to Denmark on the halfway line or something. Instead, Iceland got the ball and they've actually been saved because Denmark have been really looking really good in that attacking third. Yet they've just been saved there.
Saved indeed. Weird. Absolutely weird in that situation.
That's such a strange call.
Very strange indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. Denmark 1, Iceland 0. I will learn it's your game. In fact, I'm going to move it to the very top so I know it's yours, Rowan. But we've got a dangerous free kick in the game between Italy and Poland. Of course, Italy 1-0 up. Let's go to Kieran D and find out what's happening there. What's happening, Kieran?
Yeah, it's a good chance for Italy to get a ball in the box, but Krychowiak needs to be careful because that's another foul he's made. Already a yellow card, of course, for giving away the penalty. A good opportunity for Italy here to get a ball into the box or even shoot. It is going to be Insigne who does whip it into the box for Belotti, and he volleys it just over the crossbar. I thought that might have been 2-0, Josh, but no.
Very unlucky.
Krychowiak needs to be careful because that's another niggly foul he's given away.
Certainly does indeed. Thank you very much, Kieran D. As always, Italy still 1-0 to the good in that game against Poland. I believe we've got an injury on the pitch right now between Belgium and England. So there's quick drinks breaks for the guys to just replenish themselves. Chris is put in the chat, I had an argument with my mate who's going over the top, taking international friendlies seriously, saying we looked good versus Ireland. I replied, don't wind me up, get yourself drug tested, seriously. Unbelievable, Chris. I mean, let's be real. That was a friendly that didn't mean anything at the end of the day. But Chris put then, he kept on saying we can win something, so I told him to do one if he continues. Well, you might have to tell him tonight, well, look at this performance against Belgium so far, because it's been an absolutely dead game in terms of how England have played so far. We've had a few little chances here and there, and it's not like we've not had a great deal of possession, but Belgium have been the more clinical side at the end of the at the end of the first half an hour of action. But a few more of the scores in the chat from Ravens. Jacksonville, I think 17. Yeah, that's big dubs. I'm not even going to try GB. Now I've got no idea with these two. I'm not going to lie. I felt like just getting up the NFL table and just looking very smart and getting every team correct, but then that's cheating the system, and I don't want to do that. But 10-27 there. And then Chris has put, trust the Southgate process. He says, is he taking the mick? Well, as we said before, I think people are starting to lose the belief. Kieran D's put Green Bay, that's it. That's the one. And then Ravens has put WFT, Washington football team. I thought it was Washington, but I didn't want to say anything. And then Ravens has also put Detroit Lions. There we go. As I said, I don't really watch my NFL. The boys know so much more about me. Football team. Oh, is that football team? We're learning on the go. 2 sports at once here. 2 sports at once, honestly. I tell you what, guys, you need to do a red zone, like live red zone stream at one point and get me involved, and I'll talk shite. In fact, what they should do in real life, with the goals showing that, of course, if you're a British viewer, you'll know Sky Sports. This is how boring the game is, by the way. There's fuck all going on in this match. If you watch Sky Sports, they should really get Jeff Stelling to get drunk on stream, like live on Sky Sports. They should just get him there, ply him with drink for the entire 2 hours, and get him drunk and see drunk Jeff Stelling at the end of the match. I've just seen what's in the private chat. Unbelievable. Do you want to hop in, Rowan? Do you want to hop in? Yes, I've got another head. So, Chris, we've got a debate here. While this game's a bit dead, we've got a slight injury here to Chilwell. We've got a slight debate going on right now with Chris. I'm going to bring Rowan in. Rowan, debate away.
My game's dead as well. You said that like Southgate's taking the mick and how you shouldn't trust international friendlies. First of all, you can only judge the England national team based on competition, because friendlies don't matter. The Nations League doesn't really matter. It's all based on the World Cup and Euros. We got to a semi-final with practically this team, more or less. Yes, we had an easy run, but we still had to win the games. Yes, we weren't so confident. But we got to a World Cup semi-final, and that's disappointing. It's friendlies. I think you should look at this and think, okay, well, Jack Grealish is playing games now. Mason Mount, he's young. I know a lot of people don't like him because it's Mason Mount and everything that surrounds him. But we are playing youngsters. Yes, I agree with the Pickford issue 100%. Pickford shouldn't be starting. It should be Pope. It should be Henderson. There we go. I was struggling for keepers there. But, like, I think you can't be too downhearted. Yes, we're losing to Belgium, but do players really care about the Nations League for you to judge them as a team? Do you really? Like you say, so far as I'm concerned, nothing changed with England. All managers been the same, so I'm a negative England fan. But if you be positive about it, you may see in a different line. Like, yes, all the England managers been the same. Well, they aren't there because Roy Hodgson, Capello. I'm thinking of like my time. Roy Hodgson and Capello, they politely did F all. Southgate, yes, he had a better team. He didn't even have a better team. We probably had a worse team than our golden generation, yet we got to a semi-final. Easy run, doesn't matter, we still got there. So I wouldn't say that we like Southgate is a bad manager. He might have dropped off, but again, it's friendlies, it's Nation League. No one cares. You can only judge them at main competitions.
Well, there we go. We like the debate, Rowan. You try and answer that one, Chris. Thank you very much, Rowan. We love a bit of debate there. The games are fairly dead right now. But I judge the Nations League. England are shit. Gareth Southgate out. We've got 5 minutes left of this match right now. As it currently stands, still 2-0 between Belgium and England. There has been another goal elsewhere, though. Hungary are back in the game against Serbia just before half-time. 5 minutes left before we do reach that, of course. Zsolt Kalmar with the goal to equalise in that game, which means, as the group currently stands, right now in League B, as you can see, it changes once again the complexion of this group. It's incredibly tight right now. So as it currently stands, let's move Belgium and England off. It means Hungary go into second place, Turkey with the 6 points as well, Serbia on bottom with 3 points. So it's a nervy group right now. Remember, if Hungary win, they go top of that group. So it's very tight as it currently stands in that one. So 1-1 between those two teams. Then we've had a few substitutions as well in this game between Belgium and England. We have an injury to Ben Chilwell, so Saka has come onto the pitch with 5 minutes left of the second half. And then we've also had a change in Kieran L's game between Austria and Northern Ireland. Jamal Lewis has come on, Ferguson has come off. So another change to the system there. And then another comment I want to very quickly point out. Agalos Nomikos, welcome to the stream, says, fun fact, Greece has more Euros than England. But that's because Greece were good and England's not necessarily good at the Euros. And then Rivers asks, what is Sky Sports? Is it your version of Sportsnet? I would say so indeed, of course. Quite a big channel in the UK, Sky Sports. But we've got a few minutes left here of action. As it currently stands between Belgium and England, Belgium 2-0 up, England doing nothing in this game so far to really test the home side here. But we've had another goal elsewhere. And we talked a moment ago about Greece taking a 1-0 lead. They've now doubled it. It's now 2-0 in that game just before we reach half time. Anastasios Bakasetas with the goal. What a name that is. To double Greece's lead, which means in their group, of course, that is right now in, I think it's actually in League 3, in the League C, what it's called. We can have a quick look at this group. As it currently stands with Greece taking a 2-0 lead, that group is pretty much done and dusted. Apart from who tops the group, is it Slovenia or Greece, of course? We'll have to find out, but that is a group that is certainly done and dusted indeed. And while Belgium are coming forward, it might be a chance for Romelu Lukaku. He's on the right wing inside of the box. He's trying to dance around Tyrone Mings. Lays the ball off to Kevin De Bruyne. The touch is heavy, and I think he's going to go out of play in the end for a goal kick. Very unfortunate indeed, but we have got a dangerous free kick in the game between Italy and Poland. Whose is it, Kieran, indeed?
Well, I'm not quite sure which foul it's been given for, because there was a foul committed by Krychowiak again on, I think it was Barella, and then there was another foul committed on Jorginho. I think the foul has been given for the foul on Jorginho, but it's about 25 yards out, and I think there's no real wall there. I mean, if I'm Lorenzo Insigne, of course, he's a very good footballer. He'll probably do something a lot different to what I'd do with this ball. But if I'm Lorenzo Insigne, I'm hitting this because there's no wall there at all. But he has dinked it in, and there's a free header there, and it's a fantastic save by Wojciech Szczesny to deny, I think it's Bastoni, making it 2-0. Great save by the Polish keeper, but yeah, great set piece by Italy. He's offside.
Oh, it could have been another offside goal again. So what you don't want to see. But they dominate the game right now because it does sound like from the first 45 minutes it has pretty much been all Italy.
I generally don't remember Poland having a shot. I don't think Robert Lewandowski's touched the ball at all, really. It's been Italy, and Poland are lucky it's only 1-0, to be fair, because Italy are dominating this game.
It sounds like domination indeed. We'll have a look at half-time, of course, of the stats, as we always do in the goal show. But as for that, thank you very much, KD. Italy 1, Poland 0. They've had plenty of chances. And what we'll do at half-time is we'll go through each game, break down the stats of the match, and ask the boys how their games have been so far and what teams can do to improve. And of course, look at the groups as they currently stand. But England coming forward here. Harry Kane on the left wing. Courtois come out of his goal and done really, really well to make himself look big. Stop Kane with an opportunity. And it's going to go out for a corner. And that really was the chance for Harry Kane to get back into the match. Bit of an awkward angle for him. And I'll give credit to Courtois for making himself big in that situation. But England have got a corner with a minute and 10 seconds left. Raven says, I do not understand football's offside. There is no blue line to determine offside. Honestly, you'll get even more confused, Ravens, when VAR comes into play, because that's another kind of debate within itself. But we've got the corner coming in here for England. Can they get an equalising goal before half-time? It's quite an all right cross into the box. I was going to say it was awful at first. It comes down to Mason Mount, who, well, is not necessarily known for his heading ability. It's towards the left-hand side of the post, and you have to say it's a really poor header. Has got to do better in that situation, but I think Thomas Meunier, if he'd have got it towards that left-hand post a little bit more, would have probably got a touch on the ball and deflected it out for a corner. But with 30 seconds left of the game to go before maybe some additional time, Belgium still 2-0 up as it currently stands, looking like they could cruise on to another victory in the Nations League. But if you are new to the stream and have enjoyed the goal show so far, do leave a like and a subscription, because we are going to be doing this a lot more. We've done goal shows a lot on the channel. And we're not just doing it for international football as well. We've got the Champions League coming back, very soon, actually. It's not this Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're back with the Champions League. So we'll be doing our UCL goal show on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. And then, of course, this Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got the rest of the Nations League with match day 6, the final match day of the group stages. So keep your eyes out for that if you want to keep up to date with all of the goals. And you can watch me react to how crap England are in a couple of other big games, along with the boys' reactions on their goals as well. But we've got 2 minutes of additional time here between Belgium and England. Can we see one last opportunity from England, or will we see Belgium maybe nick another goal in this game before half-time? We'll have to find out. But Rowan has put for his game between Denmark and Iceland, there is 1 minute of added time. Kim D's game between Italy and Poland, there is 3 minutes of added time in that one. And then, of course, the other 2 games going on between Czech Republic and Israel and Austria and Northern Ireland will probably be fairly close towards additional time as well. Hungary-Serbia, that's at half-time, 1-1 between those 2 sides. Greece with a 2-0 lead at half-time against Moldova, which is good to see. Half-time in Will's game between Czech Republic and Israel, of course, we'll go to him in a moment. We've not had many chances in that match. Rowan said about nervy moment across the NFL. Injury. Now, is that an injury in football? Is that an injury in NFL? I'm going to guess it might be an injury in football. I'm going to go to you now. Question is, Rowan, who has had that injury?
Yeah, it's Kasper Schmeichel. I'm just trying to find who it is that runs. A ball's played through, and who was that? It's Sigurdsson, but I think it's the other Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson. No. A ball's played through. It's Goodmanson. There you go. I can see he's finally saw his number. It's Goodmanson. A ball's played through to him when he's running. He taps the ball past Schmeichel. Well, he kicks the ball into Schmeichel, but then he doesn't jump Schmeichel. He just runs, and when he jumps really late and clips Schmeichel's face, Schmeichel goes down like that. Like, he goes down very quick, and he looks like he's knocked out at first. So I don't know whether he's knocked out and then just regained consciousness super quick, because he goes and he's face down, and then someone comes over and moves him, and he sort of wakes up. But it's not really... It wasn't that nice. I think Christian Kieren comes over and sort of shakes him. He goes, and then he plays his injury. But I'm just rewatching here. Goodmanson, Schmeichel basically Goodmanson don't get the ball. Schmeichel catches the ball and just tries to go to ground. But Goodmanson's running. His knee goes into Schmeichel. It's not a nice hit at all. I think it's fine to carry on. I think he's just a bit shook up.
I was going to say, in a situation like that with a concussion, obviously with most concussion injuries, you tend to usually take the player off. But if he's all right to continue, then that's good indeed. Of course, you don't want to see any serious injuries. Fingers crossed, he should be all good. Thank you very much, Rowan. As always, Denmark 1-0 against Iceland. Kieran Ellis said 4 minutes of added time, sadly, in this game between Austria and Northern Ireland, which means it's going to be interesting to talk to him at halftime about that fixture, which we will do in a few moments when that game finishes up. But of course, across the board around the games, we're at half-time between Denmark and Iceland. I believe we'll be getting close towards half-time between Italy and Poland. We should be at half-time as well between Czech Republic and Israel now. And we should, of course, be close between Austria and Northern Ireland. So getting there indeed. Chris has put, while we wait for the Northern Ireland game to finish up at half-time, England will always let you down. They had a favourable semi-final against Croatia. They bottled it. England don't have the mentality to win tournaments. Could have the greatest players ever still bottle it. Tell Rowan, sorry, I wasn't in his F1 stream. I was doing Watchalong with my mate, which is, of course, always good. Rowan will understand indeed. And then Raymond has asked, which team should I be a fan of? I would highly recommend being a fan of Rotherham United. If you like misery every few weeks and to watch your team concede goals in the 90th minute, then that is the team for you. If not, well, I don't know, actually. What league? You'll have to tell me, Ravens, in the chat. What league would you like to watch a team in? Germany, Italy, Spain, England? Put it in the chat and we'll have a debate about it at halftime. But we should be at halftime in a moment across the board. Halftime now in that game between Italy and Poland, which we'll talk to KD about that in just a moment's time. But while we have a moment before the game between Austria and Northern Ireland does reach halftime, we, as I said earlier, have plenty more action to come on the Sports Corner in terms of footballing content. You really don't want to miss out because there's some really good stuff coming in the next few days. And over the next week, of course, we've got the Matchday 6 goal show on Tuesday at 7:30, which includes the likes of Spain and France. Then on Wednesday, we've got the final set of Nations League fixtures from 7:30. And then we're back to club football because on Friday, mammoth fixture between Monaco and PSG. That's at 7:45 p.m. UK time on the 25th of November. Saturday, 21st, double header. Tottenham, Manchester City at 5:15. And then afterwards, what a game this is. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, 7:50, kick-off at 8 o'clock of that game. And we still might have a few more games to announce based on that weekend of action because there's a lot of really good games going on. So keep your eyes out on the channel as always. If you're new, do leave a like and a subscription. It is always very, very greatly appreciated for those of you that have new and have enjoyed the Gold Show so far. And of course, if you're looking for review watch-alongs, we certainly like to bring the passion. We've got plenty of big club and international watch-alongs still to come. But we have, I believe, we should very soon reach half-time of that game between Austria and Northern Ireland. But let's have a quick look at the scores across the doors between those Nations League fixtures tonight. As it currently stands, Belgium 2, England 0. Italy 1, Poland 0. Denmark 1, Iceland 0. As we just reach half-time in Kieran L's game. Czech Republic 1, Israel 0. Austria 0, Northern Ireland 0. And then the other big games going on that we're not covering tonight. Hungary 1, Serbia 1. Moldova 0, Greece 2. And then it is, of course, I believe it's Slovenia 0, Kosovo 0. So there's the scores at half-time. Of course, what we'll do now at half-time is we'll go through each game, talk to the boys on how their fixtures have gone. So without further ado, I think we should start with the most exciting game of them all. Austria and Northern Ireland. It just reached half-time a few moments ago. Kieran sounds like he's having an absolutely fantastic time in his game. Good match so far, Kieran?
I'm having an absolute whale of a time. Honestly, there's been so many chances that I've just struggled to type them all. So that's why I've not been as active, Josh. I apologise.
It's okay. It might be a bit tough here. Who's been the better of the two sides? Is there one team that has dominated this game but maybe not made the most of their chances?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Austria. Austria have been the better team. They've been the team that's probed around the box the most. They put more balls into the box. Northern Ireland's tactic is 5 at the back counter-attack. It's clearly a 5-3-2 that Barraclough has implemented today. And you can tell that because the chances for Northern Ireland have been sparing, to say the least. It's just not been a very enjoyable game to watch at all.
I'm looking at the stats, of course, right now, as it stands with this game. Certainly hasn't been an enjoyable game to watch because Austria have had 4 shots, none on target as of yet. Northern Ireland have had 3 shots. At least they've had 1 on target. But Austria have had 74% possession to Northern Ireland's 26. And, well, you can see, obviously, the domination right now in terms of the actual game itself. But Austria just don't seem to be doing anything with the chances that they've had. Now, I'm looking at the bench, actually. Could somebody like a Marko Arnautovic come on and maybe change this game up? Or maybe someone like a Karim Anissimo? What do you think Austria have to do, basically, to make the most of their domination?
Well, the thing is, as you say, they've not even had a shot on target. And it's difficult because they are playing Sabitzer and Gregorich up front, who obviously they both really plied their trade as attacking midfielders rather than out-and-out strikers. Having a guy up there like an Arnautovic would definitely help. I am just looking through the bench. This is why I'm looking over here at the moment. Onisi, well, you're right, he has a bit more pace than Arnautovic does, but for me, they're not being troubled by Northern Ireland at all. So why not just try and go for it? Try and, throw a few men forward. Alaba's been, I think, the out-and-out best player, but he's been drifting all over the pitch, just trying to get his foot on the ball because no one else has caused any problems. So for me, they have to do a hell of a lot because they're struggling to break down this five at the back of Northern Ireland.
I mean, as you can see right now on the screen, let me take their Austria scoreline off. As it currently stands in the group, Austria with a point. They'll go top on 10. Of course, Norway and Romania not facing off against each other because of COVID-19, so we might not see that game being played. As for Northern Ireland, they're on 2 points. It was critical for Northern Ireland to go out there and get a win, but it just doesn't feel like that's going to happen right now, does it, Kieran?
But it doesn't feel like they're going to concede either, so maybe they're just trying to stay in the game as long as possible, and then as you reach that last 15, 10 minutes, try and go for it and see if you can nick a late 1-0 win, or I don't know, maybe a point's enough for them, but a 1-0 would be what they're aiming for here because they've not been very impressive so far.
They certainly haven't indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. Hopefully the second half gets better. The last time these two sides faced off, it was only a 1-0 win. Looks like you'll be looking to even get one goal or a shot on target at this rate from the home side. But as for now, it stays goalless. Thank you very much, Kyle. Sometimes he does like a goalless draw, not tonight. But as it currently stands, we saw in the group in a moment, Northern Ireland have to go out there and try and get the win. Fortunately, right now, not really doing much at all in that game, but still 45 minutes of action to come. Let's move on to the next game now. Czech Republic taking on Israel. The first goal of the night across the Nations League came from this game. It was Vladimir Derrida who scored that early goal. In fact, it was only 7 minutes into the start of this game. Has it been a decent match, Will, or did the goal kind of kill the vibe of the game?
Yeah, first I was going to say my internet is struggling here. It keeps lagging very, very badly, so I've had to leave. I've had to leave the stream multiple times and rejoin. But the game, it's been a bit flat. I'm not going to lie. Czech Republic have been the better side by far. Israel have had barely any opportunities, and since the early goal, Czech Republic have just been going at Israel, but they've not really created many, real chances. It's kind of just been, shots here and there. But Czech Republic by far being the better side, and Israel need to improve a lot in the second half if they want to get anything from the game.
They do indeed. Looking at the stats for the game, Costa Rica scored in the 7th minute. Czech Republic 8 shots, 4 on target. Israel have had 2 shots, 1 on target. Czech Republic 52% possession to Israel's 48. So they're keeping in the game, just not really had many chances. Looking at the group right now as well, let me take the scoreline off the screen. Of course, Scotland losing today to Slovakia means that Slovakia stay in the race for survival. But if Israel do drop points today, Czech Republic could still win the group. Israel would be fighting for survival in Group 2. Just how important is it right now for Israel to go out there and get a win? I mean, of course, it's also crucial for Czech Republic, but this is a big opportunity for Israel to not just stay in the league, but also try and fight to finish towards second or first.
Yeah, it's one of them as well. Like they have to pick something up because if they win today, then there'll be a chance to get promoted. But if they lose today, they'll find themselves in a relegation battle coming down to the last game because obviously they don't want to go down with Slovakia's win today. So Israel are going to have to come out and get at least a point from this game. If they lose this game, then it's going to be a tough final week for them.
Certainly is indeed. Thank you very much, Will, as always. As it currently stands, Czech Republic 1, Israel 0. A lot of work for Israel to do. Let's have a quick look at the comments before we go into the rest of the games. Of course, Raven asked earlier about the team that he should be a fan of, a team that wins trophies regularly. Of course, that's probably a good idea if you want enjoyable football. And then Ravens, of course, keeping us updated with some of the NFL stuff going on right now. Giants field goal 24-17, the latest update in terms of the NFL. But let's move back to the Nations League. Italy 1, Poland 0 as it currently stands. Italy have had plenty of opportunities in this League A fixtures to have a few more goals in this game. But right now, they've taken the lead courtesy of Jorginho's penalty in the 27th minute. And as we kind of spoke to Kieran before the end of the first 45, it sounded like Italy dominated the game. Has it been a good match so far, Kieran?
It's been entertaining. I wouldn't call it good because Poland have just been really, really woeful. They've not really been in the game at all. Like I said, Lewandowski is chasing shadows, really. He's not really had anything to do all game. But fair play to Italy, though. They've controlled the game well. Their midfielders have been involved a lot. Jorginho and Barella ticking the game. That's the engines in the up front. Belotti's kind of been a little bit stinky, and of course he's on the yellow card. Needs to be careful second half. But I think for Italy, they'll just be happy that they're winning, but they won't be happy because it's only 1-0. It should definitely be more.
Well, I mean, I've just looked at the stats for the game, and it is, it's total domination in every respect of the word. Italy, 8 shots, only 2 on target right now, which, as you said, I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they've not had a few more chances on target, at the very least, if there hasn't been goals. Poland have had no shots at all in the game. Nothing so far in the match. And I think, as you said, doesn't feel like Lewandowski's had a touch. Italy, 60% possession. Poland, 40% possession. I'm looking at the Poland bench right now. They've got Arkadiusz Milik, Piotr Zielinski, Krzysztof Piatek, and Kamil Grzycki on the bench. Is there anybody that can come off the bench for Poland and make a difference in this match and try and at least just have one shot on target?
I think at the moment they're getting overrun in midfield. That 3 in midfield of Locatelli, Jorginho, and Barella, of course. They need Zielinski on, and of course, I can't see the bottom of the screen, but we need to get Kamil Grzycki on, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing right now there are some severe celebrations. There you go. That's the celebrations right now on the screen. He's loving life indeed, but it's been lackluster, to put it in the nicest way.
For Poland, yeah.
I mean, Lewandowski not even having what feels like a touch in the game. There's a lot of work to do. And, of course, I'll get up on the screen right now. Let me take that off as the group currently stands. It's a really tight group indeed. Anybody could still win this group apart from Bosnia. Italy go top on 9 points. Netherlands, with their win against Bosnia, means they go into second on 8 points. Poland in third on 7th. All these three teams now are guaranteed survival no matter what. Bosnia's gone down. It should be a case of these teams going gung-ho to try and get to the playoffs. Italy, what do you think they have to do to improve? Because we've spoke about Poland and how they've been really poor, but what do Italy have to do to make sure that Poland don't take advantage of this slender lead?
Well, it's going to be a Michael Owen-esque comment, but they need to score more goals because, in the 5 games they've played, they've scored 4 goals. Well, as of so far, anyway, they just don't score enough. That's their own problem. They have too many draws and they don't score enough goals. Honestly, I can see it ending 1-1. I've just got this feeling that it's going to 1-1. And Italy are going to rue the chances that they missed in the first half.
Lewandowski with his first shot of the game for Poland?
It might be, genuinely.
It might be indeed. I mean, he's a clinical man, but for Poland tonight, they haven't been clinical at all because they haven't taken any shots. But thank you very much, KD. As always, that is the game between Italy and Poland. Of course, Italy 1-0 up right now. Slender lead. Can Poland surprise everyone and come back into the game? We'll have to find out indeed. The players are coming out for the second half, but before we talk about the games and that, once they get into the second half, let's talk to Rowan because Denmark are taking on Iceland in the other game, which is currently in Group 2 in League A. Denmark with a 1-0 lead. Iceland have got some work to do. They're already relegated, Rowan, but has it been an enjoyable game to watch?
Yeah. Denmark have had a couple of chances. Iceland, not really many. I mean, do you know when it came to me about the penalty? I really looked at it and I don't know. I think it is. I think it's a high foot. But I think Vass has gone down. I don't think he's touched his face, but he gave it a penalty. There is going to be a sub for Iceland. It's going to be Paulsen who comes on, but I don't know who will come on for. I'll tell you in a sec if it loads up. But yeah, Paulsen has come on. He's coming on for. I can't let you know. I'll let you know when it goes in. But yeah, great penalty by Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, I mean, look at the stats. Denmark, 5 shots, 1 on target. Iceland, 2 shots, 1 on target. Denmark with 62% possession. Iceland, 38%. Of course, Iceland already relegated in the group. Of course, Belgium 2-0 up as well. So as it currently stands in this group right now, Belgium top on 12 points. Denmark in second on 10. As simple as it is to say, for Denmark tonight, all they've got to do is win and really keep that pressure on Belgium. Do you think they can hold on to this win? Or do you think it'll become a bit more of a better result, maybe 2 or 3-0 to them?
I think it might just be a 1-0. They haven't looked massively convincing. It's a tough game to say because it's only 1-0. If it was like a 2-0 or even 2-1, Denmark scored 2. It's 1-0. The game's been quite boring, to be honest with you. I do see a Denmark win, but maybe by only a 1 goal.
Might be a very slender lead indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. As always, as Rowan's perfectly said, of course, we might see some substitutes in the second half. We are underway with another 45 minutes of action across the board. Of course, some of the games will kick off a little bit later. Austria and Northern Ireland having about 5 minutes of additional time. And while England have made a substitute, and somebody could do me a favour and go and get myself more gin and just fill the actual mug with gin, then that'd be greatly appreciated, because we are relying on Harry Winks to come onto the pitch. This is how bad England are right now. I mean, Jack Wilson's put it perfectly. England is trash. We are trash. And I think any England fan out there which isn't watching this game right now thinks we're doing well. Of course, I think, look, there are some times when England could turn up in games. There's some performances even there where England turn up and do well. But right now, this has been a pretty shocking game. And, well, we brought, Harry Winks on. He's useless. He doesn't fucking play for Spurs. Why are we bringing on someone who sits there and gets cobwebs as he sits on the Spurs bench and does nothing and gets paid probably about 70, 80 grand a week? But he's on the pitch either way. Of course, it's, Gareth Southgate's love affair with Harry Winks that continues as we have another 45 minutes of action. And I guess he has to go a little bit more attacking. So I would assume, and I'm going to check now just to make sure, I believe that the substitute would be Eric Dyer coming off. It's actually Jordan Henderson that's come off. For Harry Winks to come on now. I don't know whether that's the case of protecting Jordan Henderson with all the injuries Liverpool have had quite recently, or whether it's just the fact that maybe Henderson's picked up a knock or something, but we'll have to find out. But Belgium are coming forward here. It could be a great chance to make it 3-0. De Bruyne is at the edge of the box, takes the shot on, slight deflection, goes out of play for a goal kick from Lukaku's foot. But we've had a chance in the game that Will is watching between Czech Republic and Israel. Who's had the chance in the game, Will?
It was a chance for Israel, and yeah, they get down the right-hand side. Really nice work from Israel. And it's put into the box. I think it's by Peretz, who's out on the right-hand side. Puts it into the middle. And the man who you wanted to falter, Aaron Zahavi, he just scuffs it, completely misses the ball, and Czech Republic clear. But yeah, we're only 3 minutes into the second half. More positive play from Israel, but it should have been 1-1 there. It's still 1-0 Czech Republic.
Very unfortunate for Israel. Thank you very much, Will. Of course, it is the PSV, current PSV player, Aaron Zahavi, who just missed that chance. Of course, one of the greatest players in Israeli history. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the ball into the back of the net. There has been a triple change in the game between Italy and Poland. A few big changes indeed for the away side. 3 changes. Zielinski, Grzycki and Goralski have come on. Jozwiak, Moda and Szymanski have come off. And then Katie's just put in the chat, Kamil Grzycki almost scored with his first touch of the game. So already a big improvement in that game. And that's obviously all down to Kamil Grzycki and how incredible he is as a player. West Brom, why do you not play him? Of course, we're not Slaven Bilic. He's got no idea what he's doing, let's be real. But still 1-0 to Italy in that game. Poland looking to make a few more chances in that game, of course. You could say Kamil Grzycki being the best player so far on the pitch, which probably, to be honest, hasn't been fairly hard with how the game has panned out. But you can see across the screen right now, for those of you that have just joined us on the stream, welcome along to our UEFA Nations League Matchday 5 goals show. The scores will be updating as we go along in the stream. We've just kicked off for the second half. The scores currently on the night: Belgium 2, England 0, Italy 1, Poland 0, Denmark 1, Iceland 0, Czech Republic 1, Israel 0, Austria 0, Northern Ireland 0, Hungary 1, Serbia 1, Moldova 0, Greece 2, and Slovenia 0, Kosovo 0. So a few goalless games tonight. Still waiting for the first goal in that game between Austria and Northern Ireland. The main games we're covering tonight, of course, I said Austria, Northern Ireland, Czech Republic, Israel, Italy, Poland, my game, which is Belgium, England, and Denmark versus Iceland, which is the other game in this group. And I've not really spoke much about this game, to be honest. We probably have, but not about what's actually going on the pitch. It's more the fact of just England in general and the worries and the squabbles that this squad has. And I think you can kind of feel like right now with how people are looking at England, England are just really poor tonight. I mean, Jack kind of putting it perfectly about how England have been fairly trash. And I mean, I think some of the Scottish fans and that will look on and probably think, well, God, England have been terrible. Maybe they could take advantage of how poor England have been in terms of their game so far. But we're going to go to a chance in the game between Italy and Poland very quick. Thank you for joining us, Melton. I hope you're all good as always. Just joined. I can't stay for long. How you all doing? We're fantastic. Hope you're good as always, buddy. Nice to see you in the stream. Good to see the regular faces as always. But let's go to KD now, because there has been a chance in this game between Italy and Poland. The question is it a Poland chance or are Italy continuing their dominance?
Well, no, it's a chance for Italy, but Poland have started the better in the opening 4 minutes of the first half. Nicely moved down the right-hand side. He found Bernardeschi in a bit of space, taps it back to Barella, and a really, really good chance to make it 2-0, but he just scuffs it over the crossbar. But they are coming forward now. Benedetti onto the right-hand side of the penalty area. Does get tackled, though. But yeah, a good chance for Barella to double the lead for Italy, but he just scuffs his effort, and he really should be doing better there.
He should indeed. Thank you very much, as always, Kieran D. Currently, Italy 1, Poland 0. I believe England have just got a free kick here in a very decent position. I don't know whether this has been given as a penalty or not, because the players right now are swarming around the referee. I think this is a free kick from just outside of the box. And looking at it, yeah, it is a free kick in the end. It just looked like it was a penalty from the case of the amount of people that were swarming around the ref. And it is really, really close to where the actual line is for the penalty spot. But it's going to be taken in a very similar position to where Mertens' free kick was in the first half. And, well, we saw Mertens put the ball into the back of the net. Can an England player do the same as what Mertens did? Or is this going to go high and wide? Or is it going to hit the wall, which usually just tends to hit the wall anyway? But big chance here for England. If they can get a goal back in this first 5 or 6 minutes, then it could be a great opportunity for them to get back in the match. Of course, tonight, England have to pretty much win, or else they will not be going through into that Nations League playoff in October. So let's find out what happens here. Mason Mount stood over the free kick. He scored against Belgium, of course, in their previous fixture. A deflected chance, but Mason Mount takes it. Get him out of the squad. Useless fucker. He sent that into another planet. Honestly, we said last night about Sergio Ramos's free kicks, how he just decided to dink the penalty for a Panenka, and he didn't even get it off the floor. Mason Mount there has done the opposite. He's decided to hit it as if there's somebody stood at the very top of the stadium that he's trying to boot off. It might land, actually. It might come flying through the window. I've got a window next. It might come flying through my window in a moment. It was just an awful penalty. It is a Mason Mount disaster class right now. KD's put Mission Rashi aren't England right now, and Trent. And I guess you could probably say, yeah, I definitely think they are. Kieran Trippier's playing in the right back position tonight. Haven't really seen much of him at all, to be honest. Been very, very quiet indeed, and you can tell how crucial Rashford and Trent are to the team. But yeah, nothing comes there in terms of the England free kick. Mason Mount will probably want to get that opportunity very quickly indeed. But England coming forward here. Could be a good chance for Saka to come forward on that left wing. Tries to lay a ball into the path of Harry Winks, who just can't get a touch. Good defending there from Witsel. The ball's cleared away in the end, which is a real shame. But England looking a bit better in these first few minutes, apart from Harry Winks' free kick there. They've got to get a goal early on. They have to get a goal early on. Kyle's put it perfectly. What a disgrace of a free kick. But they're coming forward here. And, well, somebody's gone down in the box. But the referee's giving it as a free kick, I think. I think it's been given as a free kick here. It looked like, once again, another similar situation where this could have been inside the box. I think, once again, just outside the box. Let's look at the replay right now. Yeah, it's the right decision. It's just outside of the box. It's in a very similar position again. And if I was Gareth Southgate, I'd be getting onto that pitch right now and saying, don't you dare take that free kick, Mason Mount, after last one. Get Jack Grealish on it and at least give him a go at it. Or even give it to, God knows who else is going to stand over it. Trippier standing over it as well. So let's see what happens here with this free kick. And then we will go over to KD because he's had a chance in his game. But this time, Kieran Trippier looks like he's going to take it. Can he do any better? Mason Mount stood over it as well. If I was Trippier, I'd push him to the floor before I take it. Trippier does. And, well, this time he's decided to kill Bukayo Saka. And it's hit him in the private area. Not nice indeed. So the England players now deciding to boot the ball at each other, which is certainly what you don't want to see in a game like this. Really poor free kick. But let's go over to the Italy-Poland game, because there has actually been a chance in that match, unlike this one. Question is, who's had that chance, Kieran D?
Well, it's Italy again with a chance to kill the game off. They're going to rue these missed chances, Josh, I'm telling you. Lorenzo Insigne this time. It's a lovely move by Barella to find Belotti, who just took it out wide to Insigne, and he opened his body up and via a deflection took it wide of the post. I think without the deflection, that was going top corner of the right-hand side. But, so close for Italy. It would have been such a good goal as well. But Poland are going back into this game, and they might actually register a shot on target soon. Which
is big dubs. If they can get one shot on target before the end of the game, then that is certainly a positive indeed. Thank you very much, KD. As always, very greatly appreciated. We have an injury. Harry Kane is down. It looks like is he's gone to get a ball that's been chipped from him from Pickford. Denier's pushed him. He's landed on his back incredibly awkwardly. Luckily, he's up now. He should be all right. But, we've seen sometimes with situations like that where players can land really awkwardly and fuck their backs up in that situation. Mertens is down as well. I don't know what he's gone down for, but he's back up as well, so he's all right. But there's been 11 fouls suffered from England in comparison to 3 for Belgium, so you could see really how things have been panned out in this game. But we're 10 minutes in now. There's been a few little chances here and there for England, but they've got to do much better if they want to get back into this game. And, I think there's a lot of teams that need to do much better across the board because we've 10 minutes into it now. We still haven't had a goal in the second half so far. Of course, we talked to Will earlier about Czech Republic and Israel. Israel trying to claw their way back into the game. Aaron Zahavi missing a big chance. Italy, Poland, we talked about how Italy have had a few little chances of Poland getting back into that game. And then, of course, Denmark, Iceland, still 1-0 in that game. And then, of course, Austria, Northern Ireland, well, they just don't seem to care about the match that's going on. 0-0 in that game. And Belgium and England still 2-0 to the Belgians, as the Belgians have a goal kick here. Thibaut Courtois, who's not really had much to do on the night so far, hoofs the ball off the pitch. It's going to come in the end to, I think it looks like he's come towards Declan Rice, and it could lead to a counter-attack here. Jack Grealish on the right wing tries to come forward. Really good defending at the back from Vertonghen. But it's going to come back here to England. Mount in the middle. Lovely flick to Harry Kane inside the box. And that is really poor from Harry Kane. It's a P-roll of a shot from just inside of the box. And I think in that situation, he's got enough time to take another touch. Bit more power in that. And we could have maybe been saying that England are back in the game. Unfortunately, indeed, doesn't lead to anything. But what it has led to something is a goal in the game between Slovenia and Kosovo. It is 1-0 to Kosovo in that game. The goal scorer in the 60th minute, Vedat Mariki, of course, the player who plays for Lazio, former Fenerbahce striker. And when you actually look at their group as it currently stands, they are in League C. And that victory really doesn't do much at all in terms of the complexion of the group. They stay in third on 5 points. They can't get relegated if they win tonight and Moldova lose. As for Greece and Slovenia, well, it is more of a case of those two sides battling it out for that top spot. So not really much going on there in terms of how things change the group in terms of the goal. But big goal indeed for Kosovo. It'll be certainly a good win for them. Chris has put, I'm watching I'm a Celebrity. Of course, I know that started in the UK. Surely the England game's not that bad. Probably is, to be fair. But Roberto Martinez looking fairly happy with his side right now. About 33 minutes left on the clock. Looks fairly comfortable. I mean, Belgium haven't really had any chances in this second half so far, apart from maybe one opportunity with Romelu Lukaku. But apart from that, it's a fairly comfortable performance from them. And they've been quite happy to sit back, let England come forward, because they probably know that England aren't going to do anything with the opportunities. Although, we've got a free kick here for England. A little bit too far out to be taking this on goal. Could be crossed into the box. And, well, it's the Premier League's most fouled player, Jack Grealish. That could come very quickly the most fouled international footballer. He goes down from a tackle from Dries Mertens. In fact, it's just Dries Mertens pushing Jack Grealish to the ground. And we get a free kick here, which is going to be taken short. Can England try and get a goal in this match and really make the last half an hour of the game interesting? I'm kind of hoping they do. And there could be a chance now for Mason Mount. He's took too many touches on the ball, and it's a good clearance away from Munier in the end. And Mount tonight is having a stinker. I mean, I haven't even looked at the bench who could come on in this game. So substitutes for England tonight. They've got Michael Keane, Jadon Sancho, DCL, Phil Foden, Tammy Abraham, Jude Bellingham. If I was Gareth Southgate, I would probably bring Jadon Sancho on at some point. Maybe even bring on someone like DCL into the game, go 2 strikers up top, see if we can get another goal in this game and try and come back. Or you could even bring on someone like Jude Bellingham as well. Had a decent little game when he came on for the last 10 or 15 minutes against the Republic of Ireland. So we should see some changes fairly soon. The Belgians have made haven't made any changes of their own so far in the game. England already making 2. We do have 5 subs in these matches. So whether Belgium make their changes soon, I would expect it indeed. But Jack Grealish, just on the left wing right now, about 30 yards out from goal. Lovely switch of play to Kyle Walker. He's just come a little bit further up the pitch right now while he can. Lays the ball onto the right to Trippier. Some good football here from England. But they are going to pass towards the halfway line as Belgium are really tightly compact right now. They're playing with it looks like a 4-3-1-2. De Bruyne kind of shifting towards a striker at points with Lukaku, but both players coming incredibly deep indeed. But Jack Grealish just inside the box on the left wing right now. What can he do? Lovely bit of work from Grealish. He tries to curl the ball into the top right-hand corner, but his shot is just a little bit too powerful. But that is the kind of spark that this game needs right now. Somebody who'll take a chance on and take a gamble. And he does really well there to dummy around Yuri Tielemans, but in the end, it doesn't lead to anything. And while Sky Sports are showing us a highlight package right now of Kyle Walker doing back heels, but it means shithole when you're 2-0 down to Belgium, doesn't it? But we've not really had many other chances in the games in the second half so far. Been fairly quiet indeed. Of course, for those of you that want a quick update on how the scores are looking right now, we are 60 minutes into tonight's Nations League Matchday 5 fixtures. Belgium 2-0 against England. Italy 1-0 up against Poland. Insigne with a goal. Sorry, it wasn't Insigne with a goal. It was Jorginho with a penalty in that game. Denmark 1, Iceland 0. Czech Republic 1-0 up against Israel. Austria 0. Northern Ireland 0. And just as I say that, we have had another goal elsewhere. Slovenia have equalised in their game. It is 1-1 between Slovenia and Kosovo. Of course, Slovenia tried to push towards the top end of the table in Group 3. So it was paramount tonight that they tried to get a victory if they wanted to get promoted in the leagues. And oh my God, Tyrone Mings nearly just gave the ball away to Lukaku. God, that would have been an awful, potential awful goal for Belgium to get. And the goal, I will find out who scored it in a moment, but it's 1-1 between Slovenia and Kosovo. Still a bit of time left in that game for Slovenia to try and nick a winner. But you can see there across the board all of the scores tonight with the games. Belgium starting to come forward in this game a little bit more as England start to open up a little bit more space while they try to press forward. And surely soon we've got to see some subs. I mean, I can vision it in my head. It's going to get to the 85th minute, and then we'll see all the substitutions. And I will sit here in about 20 minutes' time and say, I told you so. I knew Gareth Southgate was going to do that. But in terms of the goal for Slovenia, Jasmin Kotic with the goal. I believe he plays for Parma. The Parma midfielder there with the equalising goal in that game makes it 1-1 between Slovenia and Kosovo. Would have been a good result for Kosovo indeed if they could hold on in that match. But they've still got 25 minutes to try and nick a winner in that game. But do tell us in the chat what game you're watching tonight in the Nations League. In fact, if you're not watching a game, just tell us what you're watching sports-wise as well, because I wouldn't be surprised if you switched off this England game, because it has been pretty shocking so far. But it looks like there's another injury on the pitch. So Gareth Southgate and his band of players, I was going to say band of merry men, but band of miserable men right now. They look fairly pretty disappointed at how this game's panned out. Just having a quick drinks break here. Witsel might be coming off the pitch as well. No, he's not. He's just having another drinks break too. And just looking, I think in this situation, the player who's just gone down with an injury is Kieran Trippier. Looks like it's a head injury. Hopefully nothing too serious in that respect. But we'll find out in a second to see what's happening with the Atletico Madrid fullback. But we have had something going on. There's been a yellow card in the Italy-Poland game. A yellow for Goralski. That's as good as it gets right now in terms of opportunities across the board tonight. So a yellow card there for Poland as they try to push in that game to get an equaliser. And it actually looks like it's an injury just towards Kieran Trippier's eye. Bit of blood, which is not what you want to see right now. Hopefully he'll be all right. Cowpoint, that looked nasty on Trippier. I hope he's okay. And I mean, you can see right now it's a very awkward injury indeed. Don't know whether he'll continue on or not, because of course he's just laid out on the pitch right now getting a bit of treatment. So hopefully nothing too serious. He should be able to continue on, but it is going to mean there's a little bit more of a stoppage in play, which of course the players right now are just having a bit of a time to talk to each other about tactics, and probably Belgium thinking about who they're going to face in the knockout stages very soon. And then Thorgan Hazard, which is lovely to see, just going over to Kieran Trippier just to make sure he's all right. Pulling up. That's what we like to see in the game. Lovely respect, lovely sportsmanship there from Thorgan Hazard. And we should be back underway as Trippier comes off the pitch for a moment to get some treatment. And we have had a substitution, but not in this game. It's in the game between Italy and Poland. Domenico Berardi comes on for Bernardeschi, which is quite interesting. I do like Domenico Berardi in real life. Plays for Sassuolo. So a change in that game. And then Chris put Least the darts is on tomorrow. Absolutely buzzing for it. Is it 1 o'clock start for the darts? It's a mental day of action, isn't it, with the darts? But looking forward to it indeed. We've got 25 minutes left of this game. Belgium 2, England 0. There's some protest here for a handball. The referee is going to give a free kick in the end, and England take it very quickly. Harry Kane coming forward. He was against 5 defenders. He does so well to try and get around them, but in the end, it's Toby Alderweireld who keeps tight towards Harry Kane, and eventually the ball's cleared away. And I thought for a second we were going to see a bit of Harry Kane magic. And, well, we've just seen an awful pass from Kyle Walker. Tries to lay a ball to Kieran Trippier, who's back on the pitch now on the right wing. Completely misplaces the pass, and Trippier, he's having to sprint real hard to get towards that ball, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. And, well, really poor pass from Kyle Walker. Less said about that, indeed. And then Chris, but yeah, 1 p.m. start, which is always good to see. Some sporting action across the board, not just in football, but in sports in general. But Belgium are coming forward here. Kevin De Bruyne just trying to lay a ball into the path of Thorgan Hazard, who made a darting run through the middle of the pitch. And just unfortunate that the ball from De Bruyne was a little bit too weak. And England are able to get the ball back here. And now on the break from that potential opportunity a moment ago. And it's Bukayo Saka on the left wing. Some good work here from the Arsenal fullback. Tries to flick a ball into the box. And once again, Toby Alderweireld has been fantastic tonight. Doing really well to keep out this England front three. And eventually England are going to get a throw in here. Jack Grealish on the left wing. What can the Aston Villa winger do? One of the most creative players in Europe right now. Sprays the ball to Mason Mount, who can't get a pass towards Saka, who's making a really good run on that left wing. Kyle Walker's going to take a long-range effort like he always does, but it's blocked in the end. Going to come back to England. Trippier tries to lay it off towards Harry Kane at the edge of the box, but his pass is really poor and it doesn't come to anything in the end. So a bit of a wasted opportunity for England there to come on the attack. We got an update from the Austria-Northern Ireland game. First time we've probably had an update in about a year. Onatovic has come on in that game. Gregoric has come off for Austria. Washington has come off. Boyce as well. Josh McGuinness and White has come on the pitch. Can Josh McGuinness be the hero on the day and give Northern Ireland a win in the Nations League? Remember, they have to go out there and win tonight if they don't want to get relegated, or else as it currently stands in their group, they will be relegated, which is certainly something that they don't want to see. I'm just quickly trying to find, they will be relegated. Oh, no, sorry, they won't actually be. Romania, it all depends on Romania's game against Norway, which was called off because of COVID-19. Now, whether that game gets played or not, I don't know. If it doesn't get played, then I think it could see Northern Ireland getting relegated anyway. But we'll have to find out indeed what happens there, because it's the first time we've had a Nations League game that's been cancelled. And, well, it's already awkward to fit it into the calendar. So I don't know whether they try and squeeze it in next year when there's an international friendly being played. But Belgium coming forward here on the left wing with Dries Mertens. Lays the ball to Thorgan Hazard. Some good football here. But we are going to go to Kieren L first. There's been 2 offside goals simultaneously in 2 games. Let's go over to KL first. Austria, Northern Ireland. Who had the ball in the back of the net, Kieran?
Austria had the ball in the back of the net just after the substitute. Alaba did a lovely dinked ball over the back of the defence. And it was a man who'd literally just come onto the pitch. No, he hadn't just come onto the pitch. Came in at half-time. Ramfdal. His header was great save from McGovern, and Schleiger put the rebound in, but it turned out Ramfdal had just been offside. I think it was his shoulder was offside in his attacking run. So it was disallowed, but it's nice to see you, Josh.
Certainly is indeed. First update for a little while. Hopefully, come back by the end of the game and say there's been a goal in the match. But thank you very much, Kieran L, as always. Let's go over to Rowan in a moment. Denmark, Iceland's had a disallowed goal. We are going to have, offside goal. We are going to have 2 changes here, though. Mason Mount is off the pitch. Calvert-Lewin is on the pitch. The better England player is on. And then Jadon Sancho has come onto the pitch as well. Kieran Trippier coming off, of course, I guess with his injury. You don't want to risk him. But England have to go for it now. Hopefully it means a bit more attacking action. But let's go to Rowan now. He's coming the game between Denmark and Iceland. There's been an offside goal in his game. Who had the ball in the back of the net? Rowan?
It was Denmark. And the thing is, I've got not much to say. Poulsen had it in the back of the net. I thought they celebrated. Then the ref waved it off and offside. Iceland took the free kick quick and went down the other end and nearly scored. And Johnson's come on for Jensen. I just started saying offside goal. You good, Josh?
Yeah, bit of drama. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, the game's tonight, they've been a little bit slow, but good to have an update because it's been a little while since we've had one. But still 1-0 to Denmark. Time running out for Iceland to get something back in the match. But to be honest, it doesn't mean much for them, does it really?
I feel so sorry for you. You've been sat for probably 20 minutes now of just nothing. Like, not from any of us. You had KD right at the start, and then that's it.
It's been a quiet second half across the board, what can I say? But thank you for the update. Saves me having to talk about this game so far. But still 1-0 between Denmark and Iceland. Thank you very much, Rome. But as I said, we've got the two substitutes now on in this game. DCL and Jadon Sancho have come on, which means we might see England just try and push him and go a little bit more attacking. But they might as well. They've got 20 minutes of the match left to try and get something here. I'm just going to sneeze 2 seconds. Just mute that so you don't have to hear that down the mic. We should have the advantage play for Belgium here. We do indeed. Good work there from the referee to continue play in that situation. Just trying to see what kind of tactic they're going for now in game. I'm going to try and get who scored up and see how England are shaping up in the match. It looks like a 4-3-3 we've gone to now in this game. And of course, I'll have a check in a second and see how things are looking in the match. So England going to a 3-4-2-1 still. Jadon Sancho. I'd have said that's got to be too tall. I wouldn't have played Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a camera. I would assume, looking at it, it's a 4-3-3 they've gone to now in this game. You can quite clearly see the back four now in that match. So good to see there, of course, DCL coming up. Can he score a goal in this game? Because, of course, he scored against the Republic of Ireland, I believe, in that previous match. So it'd be nice for him to be able to get something in this match tonight and try and spur on England to at least get a draw in this match. But there has been some news from the Czech Republic-Israel game. It's a substitution. Shona Weissman has come onto the pitch for Perez. Shona Weissman playing for Valladolid in La Liga. Of course, was fantastic last season in the Austria League. He comes on in the game for Perez as Israel look to get an equaliser back in that match. But as Roman perfectly said, it has been a very quiet kind of 20-25 minutes of action. No goals across the board in the rest of tonight's fixtures. As it currently stands, obviously, England still 2-0 down to Belgium. The only game of the night currently that is goalless is Austria-Northern Ireland. Just doesn't feel like we're going to see much in that game. Czech Republic 1, Israel 0. Italy 1, Poland 0. Obviously, Belgium 2, England 0. And Denmark 1, Iceland 0. It really is the night of the clean sheets. The only game that has had goals from both sides so far. Well, actually, only 2 games. Slovenia-Kosovo and Hungary-Serbia. Apart from that, every other game tonight has had goals from I was about to say goals for the home side, but Greece are 2-0 up away from home. Apart from that, every other game has been won by a home side, which is certainly good to see. But England coming forward here. Bukayo Saka on the left wing. Going to lay the ball to Jack Grealish, who looks to drive forward. Lays the ball off to Kane at the edge of the box. So good work here from him. Kyle Walker sprays the ball to the right wing towards Jadon Sancho, of course, who's fresh onto the pitch now. Kyle Walker tries to dink a ball towards the back post. Kane gets a header on it. He's somehow flicked in towards the box, but I think the referee's pulled it back here for an offside. I'll have to check here indeed. No, it was a handball from Harry Kane in the end, which is giving it for. I wondered why. I thought it surely can't be an offside. It's a handball from Harry Kane. Not much Kane could have done about it. No complaints from him. And of course, it will be a free kick to Belgium with 17 minutes left of this game to go. And I tell you one thing, Belgium still haven't made any changes in this match, which is quite surprising. I think, of course, they're trying to go out there tonight and just get the win. I think most importantly, just get our victory tonight. It should be not fairly easy against Denmark. They'll be tough to play, but you'd expect a team like Belgium to go on and win the match. And realistically, you could say England was their biggest test. Or you could, I don't know really. Could you say Denmark's the biggest test? I mean, they've done really well in this competition so far. In retrospect, it would be Denmark, but I mean, England tonight haven't really turned up, and I'm hoping those substitutions will affect the game. And well, one of the first things Jadon Sancho does with his probably first 5 touches of the ball is giving it away to Belgium so they can hit on the break here, although they are going to pass it back. And well, we've got 15 minutes left of action here. It hasn't been the most enthralling game if you're an England fan. If you're a Belgian fan, I think, you have to say it's a very respectable, professional performance from the away side. We talked at the beginning of the game, although they're giving the ball away here, actually, and it could be a chance for England to come forward. It's a heavy ball from Declan Rice into Jack Grealish. That's a real waste of an opportunity. Grealish tries to come forward. Great defending from Thomas Meunier, and that really should have been a better opportunity on goal there from England. Waste of a chance. Declan Rice with an awful pass, and it doesn't come to anything in the end. And you can see the frustration from Rice at how poor his pass was. I think we could have potentially been saying at least a good opportunity on target. But we've got a change in the Italy-Poland game. Arkadiusz Milik has come on. Lanetti has come off. So, of course, Poland trying to push for it even more. with about 15 minutes of action left. But we've got a free kick here for England on the left wing, about 35 yards out from goal. It's going to be lobbed into the box here. Can they make the most of this set-piece opportunity? Let's find out indeed. Harry Kane, he's in the box, primed and waiting alongside the likes of Eric Dyer. He's in there as well. Ball's going to be lobbed in by Bukayo Saka. Tries to get it towards Kane, but Courtois comes out and punches it away. Really good punch there from Courtois. Comes all the way back to Saka, which is how good Courtois' punch was. Then lays it off towards Sancho. Tries to flick it towards DCL in the box. He can't get a touch because once again, Alderweireld is the man of the hour in terms of defending tonight and is able to clear the ball away. Chris has put in the chat, Southgate deserves a medal for picking young players, right? With the question mark emoji. And then Cal puts, do you think if England play their strongest team, would they be better? And I think, I don't know really. I think in this situation today, it is a bit of a tough situation because we have lost Trent and we have lost Rashford. And I think you have to say some of our better players for England, Rashford's one of them. I think Rashford is up there as one of the better players. When he plays in an England shirt, yes, sometimes it could be a little bit frustrating to watch, but I think sometimes it could be the same for him in a Manchester United shirt. But Belgium coming forward here. Lukaku, great save from Jordan Pickford. Really good opportunity for Belgium to kill this game off. And he's inside the box. Good save from Pickford. It was hit, not necessarily straight at him, but he just gets his left leg out and he's able to get the ball away. But that's the first kind of big save that Pickford's had to make in this second half. But going back to your point, Kyle, I think, would it have made a difference tonight? Probably not. I just think across the board, the team's been pretty poor defensively wise. I mean, there's not really been a great deal of defensive work for the back three to do in this second half. But in the first half, they looked really sloppy. The midfield looks pretty poor. The original front three was pretty shoddy. I mean, Grealish has probably been the better of the front three players tonight. He's tried his best. Mason Mount was just Mason Mount, wasn't he? Really, really poor performance. But we're going to stop for a second because there has been a red card in one of the games, Italy and Poland. The question is, have Poland got a chance to get back into this game, or is it in a red card for Poland themselves? Kieran D.
Well, if they are going to get back into this game, they've now got the task has become 2 times as hard because they're down to 10 men. Goralski, who got a yellow card in about 15 minutes ago for a stupid tackle earlier on, I think it was on Emerson, has just absolutely gone through the back of Belotti. Stonewall yellow card, and I mean, so silly. Honestly, lazy leg, stupid. Every right to send him off. Tough task for Poland. 13 minutes left. I still don't think they've had a shot yet, Josh.
I'm going to have a quick check for you now. Have they had a shot? Where is it? Poland game.
The Grzycki one might count earlier.
They have one shot. That one shot was from Kamil Grzycki, which sums up the game so far. But thank you very much, KD. Poland 1-0 down, but now down to 10 men as well, which is a real shame indeed. But Lukaku's coming forward here for Belgium. Oh, he's done so well to get around, but Eric Dyer's there in the end. But we have a goal, and I saw the celebrations at the bottom of my screen. His game is not ending goalless tonight. Austria 0, Northern Ireland 0. Who's opened the scoring late on, Kieran?
Substitutes make all the difference, and when you bring on Josh McGuinness, you get goals. It's 1-0, it's JM9. Northern Ireland lead this game. It's been awful, but watching 80 minutes of nothing to see Josh McGuinness slot it past the goalkeeper one-on-one, it will have been worth it. It's really, really bad defending by Austria. Everyone's got their hands up. They're all calling for offside, so everyone stops. He's not offside. He's just prodded through, and he slots it past the goalkeeper. And what a cultured finish from a cultured striker.
Well, we've been waiting a long time to see Josh McGuinness get a goal in one of our Nations League watch-alongs. He's done it now. Kieran's buzzing. McGuinness has put Northern Ireland to the lead late on. And, well, we said about how Austria had missed a great plethora of chances in this game. It looks like it could potentially cost them now, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Josh, they've been very few and far between. I think it was about 65 minutes in. There'd been 9 attempts all game or something like that. So it's been as slow as it gets. But Josh McGuinness has given them 1-0 lead. And Austria have just been negated to long shots, really.
Really poor indeed. Thank you very much, Kieran. As always, he's getting busy now. This is what we like to see as we get towards the final 10 minutes of action, because we have had, I believe, from what I've just seen on my screen, a straight red card in Will's game, which is between the Czech Republic and Israel. Is it Czech Republic down to 10 men, or is Israel's potential chance of a comeback much harder now, Will?
Yeah, it's a red card for Israel, and it's El Hamed, the defender for Israel. The ball's played over the top. He knows he's going to get beat to it, and he kind of sticks his arm out. I don't know whether he does it intentionally or tries to pretend that he's headed it, but he sticks his arm out. He blocks the ball with his hand. It's a clear handball, and because it's stopped a goal, it's got an opportunity. Because it's stopped a 1-1 with the keeper, he's been sent straight off. He's not happy about it, but rules are rules, and Israel down to 10 men, 10 minutes to go. They need a miracle.
They do indeed. Rules are rules indeed. Down to 10 men, Israel. Thank you very much as always, Will. Czech Republic look like they could be cruising here with about 10 minutes left of action to a big victory in their Nations League group. And I said it's getting very action-packed now. We love to see it. Keeps me certainly on my toes after that quiet 20 minutes. We've had a chance in that game between Italy and Poland. I think we could have a fair few more chances in this game. Of course, we had Poland going down to 10 men in this match just a moment ago. Is it an Italy chance, Kieran?
Yeah, cause no chance. This game's kind of got back into life ever since the red card. That seems to have motivated the players a little bit. Anyway, it was a chance for Italy. Nicola Brella been absolutely fantastic all game, ticking things over in the midfield. Puts a lovely ball over to Insigne, and his shot is he tries to snap it across the goalkeeper, but he just puts a little bit too much on it and it goes wide. It probably should be 2-0. Well, it should be 2-0 by now anyway, but that's another chance for Italy that they could end up ruining at the end of the game if Poland have one shot on goal.
Good indeed. 10 minutes left of that for Poland to try and get a point or 3 potentially in this game with 10 men.
Emerson, what a save by Szczesny. It came to Emerson on the left-hand side. Barella again threading the ball through to him in acres of space, and he hits it straight at Szczesny. It's a good save from the Polish keeper. They are coming again, though. Barella again on the ball, laying it off to Locatelli. It's going to go out wide. But yeah, Poland have Szczesny to thank for him being in this game so far. Stefano Akaka also came on for Belotti just about 2 minutes ago as well.
Well, we're certainly seeing a blast from the past there. I didn't expect Stefano Akaka to play for Italy again, but here we are. We're in 2020 now. Thank you very much, as always, KD. Who thought that? If there was a chance to put the bookies on for Stefano Akaka to ever play for Italy again, I think, it probably would have been a couple 100 to 1. But he's playing tonight. That's how special 2020's been. But we're going to go to Rowan's game between Denmark and Iceland because there has been an opportunity in that match. Who's had that chance, Rowan?
Yeah, a couple of minutes ago, and it was Iceland, a lovely Rory de Lapesque deep throwing into the box, and it was the sub at half-time. Palsson beats everyone to the ball, and it looks like it's into the bottom left, and it's a substitute goalkeeper for Denmark, Rono, just gets to the bottom right and makes an incredible save. Really, whenever you can see it, it's a lovely save. And there's some little changes. Sigurdsson, Bodvarsson, Gudmundsson are all off, and Finnbogason, Gunnarsson, and Kjartansson are on. And then for Denmark, it was just Braithwaite was off for Anderson.
Thank you very much, Will. Will, I've done it again. I did it last week, didn't I? Where I said to Will it was Rowan, and now I said Rowan to Will. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Rowan, as always. Denmark 1, Iceland 0. I do it every fucking week. Unbelievable. Denmark 1, Iceland 0 as it currently stands in that game, of course. Denmark looking like they're going to pick up a victory in that match late on, but we've got a few more minutes left of action here between Belgium and England. The clock is running down. There was a really good chance for Harry Kane from outside the box to hit powerful left. It was one of those classic chances where you expect Harry Kane to curl it from outside the box, and it was just hit with a little bit too much power and didn't land in the back of the net. But Dennis Pryor, the Leicester City midfielder, he's come on for Dries Mertens, who should be absolutely delighted today because his free kick in the first half was absolutely fantastic. And I actually did get to see a replay of that free kick, Kyle, and I do agree with you. Shouldn't have been given as a free kick, in my opinion. Very harsh indeed. But I guess it doesn't matter at this stage. But we have got a goal in the game between Italy and Poland. Well, we said a moment ago that game had sparked back into life after that 10-men red card for Poland. But have Poland got that equaliser, or have Italy killed the game off, Kieran?
No, this has been coming. It's 2-0 to Italy. It's Berardi, the substitute. Lovely finish. Takes it onto his right foot and just slots it nicely back across Szczesny into the left-hand side of the goal. Good pass from Insigne through. This has been coming for 60 minutes, Josh, this goal. But, Poland only have themselves to blame for this poor performance. They've been awful tonight.
They have indeed. Very poor performance from Poland. They're 2-0 down, and that surely will end their Nations League campaign in disappointment. Thank you very much, KD, as always. Just very quickly, of course, with that goal going in, it doesn't change the complexions of the current standings. But for those of you that just kind of want to know how things are going to look, although there could be a chance here for England to come forward, Sancho has a shot, ball cleared away in the end. But if you want to have a look at the actual how the group is currently standing right now, Italy do go top on 9 points, Netherlands on 8, Poland on 7. They're technically still within a shout, even with losing the game tonight. But it will certainly be disappointing for them if they do come out with nothing in that match, which, let's be honest, they're 2-0 down and down to 10 men. It probably won't happen. And, well, he started off the night with no goals. He was the game that had the longest wait for 1 goal in it. He's now had 2. Have Northern Ireland double their lead or Austria back in the game, Kieran?
Austria are back in the game, and it's a substitute that's made the difference in this occasion as well. It is Schaub. The ball from the right-hand side is crossed in. It's not really dealt with by Northern Ireland. 2 people contest the header, and the ball frees up in the middle of the field, and on the swivel, he hits it into the bottom corner. But for me, Josh, on the replay, he's offside. But of course, no VAR means no turnover, and this will go to the final 10 minutes now.
It will indeed. Of course, the game just a little bit further behind because of the additional time. So that means a little bit more action. But 1-1 could be a grandstand finish in that match. Thank you very much, Kieren. Hopefully, more goals before the end. That would be nice to see indeed. We're going to go over to Will now because there has been a chance in this game between Czech Republic and Israel. Remember, we talked to Will a moment ago, Israel going down to 10 men, courtesy of, I believe it was a straight red card. It was indeed. Are the Czech Republic dominating this game? And most importantly, of course, who's had that chance?
Yeah, it's getting to the point of the game where it's starting to be end-to-end. Both teams have an opportunity. But this was an opportunity for Israel, and it was another chance for Aaron Zahavi. He gets the ball in the box. He's got his back to goal, and the Czech Republic defender does really well holding him up. He sort of spins away from it, shoots on the turn. It looks like it's going into the bottom corner, and the goalkeeper for Czech Republic makes an incredible save, tips it around the post, and he keeps Czech Republic in the lead. 2 minutes to go. Israel really needs to start throwing everybody forward now and try and get at least a point from this game.
Thank you very much, Will, as always. They've got to go gung-ho with a few minutes left. Israel down to 10 men and 1-0 down in their match. But we've had a goal in the game between Denmark and Iceland. Now, this could be important in terms of the complexion of the group. Have Denmark taken a 2-0 lead, or have Iceland pegged a point back, which would mean nothing for them, but the complexion of the top 3 would be massive?
It's an equaliser. So this game got extremely boring. I start putting my clothes away, as you can tell. And then I look across and I say, this is a nice little building attack. And the ball's played all the way through the defence Danish backline. No one's looking. And when I mean no one, Christian's just caught out. Kajer can't catch up into Kajarson, who just slots it past Ronno. And suddenly Iceland are back in this game. And it really has come out of nowhere. Like I said, this game has been boring, as you can tell. And yet Iceland are back in it. It's a lovely little goal, lovely ball. I don't know who plays it. It was Sklarson who plays the ball through, and with 4 minutes left, this game's spicing up a bit more now.
Game on, right at the end. Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-1 between Denmark and Iceland, which means, as the group currently stands, tonight we will have our first team confirmed as going through into the Nations League knockout stages. If England don't get 2 goals back in the next few minutes, which I would bet my house that England don't score 1 goal before the end of the game, then Belgium will be confirmed as going through tonight. Now, if England score 2 goals, they will go, of course, into second place. But if England were to win the next game and Belgium were to lose or draw, then England would finish top because of their head-to-head record against Belgium, even if it finished with both sides on 11 points. So the complexion of the group is well and truly technically wide open for the next couple of minutes. But let's be real. I think with how he's standing right now, Belgium look like they're going to be the first team confirmed to go through to the Nations League knockout stages in October 2021, which would certainly be good for the team that is ranked number 1 in the world. But unless England can produce an incredible comeback here, they've got to score 2 goals at the very minimum to get that point, which could put Belgium down to the final day. Remember, if they scored 3, which will definitely never happen, then it means that England would not go top of the group. They would, no, actually, I think they would go top of the group. Yeah, they would, in terms of how the group's actually panned out. But it's not going to happen, isn't it? I mean, it'd be the most unbelievable comeback ever. But we've got 30 seconds left of this 90 minutes and probably about 3 or 4 minutes of additional time left of this match. So it'd be interesting to see here what happens late on into this game. Because to be honest, the substitutes haven't really done much at all. But we're going to go to the wrong because there's a dangerous free kick. Is the complex of the group going to change again?
No. I was just about to put never mind. Gylfsiggen's it's actually real. Gylfsiggen plays a lovely ball from. It's probably just I don't know 45 yards out, I'd say, and he does play a lovely ball through. And it's Paulson nearly gets on the end of it. Vestergaard jumps up and heads it back as a yellow card has just been handed out to Savarsson for a foul on. I think it's Paulson, maybe. But yeah, chances.
Getting chances at the end.
Staff.
I'm going to say it's been very quiet indeed, but thank you very much, Rowan. It's all getting feisty at the end here. Denmark 1, Iceland 1. We've had a few changes in the Italy game late on before the end of the match. Florenzi and Insigne have come off. El Shaarawy and Di Lorenzo have come on. But we've had a goal in one of the games. As I said, he had no goals until about the 70th minute. He's now got a third goal. It was Austria 1, Northern Ireland 1. The question is, who's taking the lead?
Austria have, I'm going to say, won it. You know, there is still 5 minutes to go, but it's a long free kick that's held up beautifully by Arnautovic. He holds it up well. He takes his time and finds a through ball between the Northern Ireland defenders, and it is finished off, I'm pretty sure, by Ramphel, but I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite seen his number just yet. A really nice goal from Austria, but it's a shame it took 75 minutes to wake up. But, you know, it's like buses. They've all come at once.
Certainly can't complain indeed. 2-1 to Austria late on in that match.
It was Gerbic. There you go.
Gerbic, there we go. Good to see either way. Of course, Austria taking the lead in that match late on. Thank you very much, Kieren, as always. There's 3 minutes of additional time in the game between Italy and Poland. And the complexion of that group, by the way, with Austria taking the lead, means that because of the Norway-Romania match being cancelled right now because of COVID-19, if that game isn't played, which is very likely, we could see Austria being confirmed as the winners of this group, which means they will go into League A in the next Nations League competition that takes place in a few years' time. So could be a big moment here for Austria. Now, as I said, of course, that other game against Norway and Romania still has to technically be played. And if it does get played, then of course it means the complexion of the group is still well and truly wide open. But Austria could be, not tonight necessarily, but you put them in a very good position to be confirmed as going into League A in next time's Nations League in a few years' time. So 2-1 in that game. And we've had another goal elsewhere in one of the matches tonight. And it's one of the games that we're not covering. Slovenia have just nicked a late winner against Kosovo in the 94th minute even. Josip Ilicic with a penalty seals what is a massive, massive victory for Slovenia. We said earlier about how that group, they had to go out there and try and win that game. Just trying to find where the group is right now. There we go. If they wanted to try and steal the important win and go and finish in this group, potentially move up into League Two. Well, they're on 13 points now. Greece on 11. The pressure will be on that last game for Greece to win and Slovenia to lose. But Slovenia with a late goal in that match. But we've had a red card in that game between Austria and Northern Ireland. He loves a red card, Kieran now. Surely not, JM9.
No, it's not even a player. The assistant manager of Northern Ireland has been sent off. I'll be honest, Josh, I was just quickly looking away. I looked up and I saw the ref brandish the red card, and I'm worried because it was out for a throw-in at the time. And I thought, unless he's done something like, punched a linesman while he's taking a throw-in, it can't be anybody. Looked up and the Northern Irish assistant is walking his way back to the locker room. It's all fell apart for Northern Ireland late on.
Certainly has indeed. At least it's not a player going off the pitch. It's a staff member with a red card, but 2-1 still to Austria. A few minutes left extra of that game. Thank you, Kieran, because, of course, of the additional time. But Northern Ireland looking like they're going to fall apart in that game. And it's full time in the game between Belgium and England. England will not be participating in the Nations League knockout stages. Their Nations League campaign is pretty much done and dusted. They've got one more game to play against Iceland, which means absolutely naff all. England, unfortunately, are out of the Nations League in terms of trying to get to the knockout stages. However, they will not be relegated from League One as they didn't finish bottom. Of course, that will be Iceland. But England's campaign is pretty much done and dusted with one game left to go. We're going to go over to Rowan, though, because there's been a penalty in this game. Denmark-Iceland. It's had drama late on. Who has that penalty?
Oh, he slipped. And the full-time whistles. No, it's not good. It's offside. Whew, right. The penalty, I completely missed it. I'll be honest with you, Josh. I got distracted. But you said Poulsen jumps up in the air, heads it down to, I don't know whose hand it was. It was an Icelandic defender's hand. It is a clear-cut penalty. Denmark having 2 penalties that may have just won in this game. Christian Eriksen again, this time drills it to the top left. Really lovely penalty. Puts them 2-1 up in this game. But then on the other hand, Sigurdsson has just played through Kjartansson, the goal scorer. He's just played him through there. And Kjartansson slips. He is offside. That is the biggest thing he was. But we could have had just nearly 2 goals in nearly the space of a minute. But yeah, I just look and I see Christian Eriksen put away a penalty.
Unbelievable. Indeed. Drama.
Cross comes in, Poulsen heads it, straight into the hand. It's a double penalty for Denmark. Not the way they would have wanted to win it, but they've won the game.
And they had to in the end. Thank you very much, Rowan, because as the group stands, I was saying a second ago, it looked like Belgium were going to be the first team officially announced into the competition. They're not, because it means that Denmark are back in the race. Both those sides play off against each other in the final group stage game, which means winner takes all in that match. Remember, Belgium only need 1 point in that game to seal the deal and go into the knockout stage. But Belgium, they thought they were through. They're not, because of that late Denmark winning goal. Of course, late drama in that game. It's full time in the game between Czech Republic and Israel. Israel lose that game in the end. Israel down to 10 men in that match. Czech Republic with a big victory. And Italy, not the most convincing result in the world, but they get a 2-0 victory against Poland. Poland were down to 10 men for a large period of that match. But it doesn't matter. Italy have that victory, which is what they certainly needed. So we've got a little bit of extra time left in the game between Austria and Northern Ireland. That's the only game going on now, because we've just hit full time of Denmark and Iceland. 2-1 victory for Denmark, which means as much as Belgium might have thought they were going through to the knockout stages, Denmark have clinched it late on to keep that race going until the final game. Of course, Belgium facing Denmark in the match, winner takes all, which means 1 game is left. Austria and Northern Ireland. Let's jump Kieren into the stream with his last game still going on. Is there any chance for Northern Ireland to pick a late goal out and maybe claim a point?
I'm going to say no, because Austria are just keeping the ball, as you would do at this stage in the game. I mean, there was 5 minutes added on, but we've played 3 of them. So I'm really not expecting much to come from this Northern Irish team. Maybe they'll have one more chance, but we'll have to see. It's another disappointing night. When you took the lead so late on, you'd hope you could at least keep on for a minimum a point, as Jesus Christ, Sabitzas took a kick at JM9. And there is a free kick around the halfway line for Northern Ireland here, Josh. So it's a chance to get the ball in the box. And you'd think maybe they send Michael McGovern up. You never know.
I mean, set pieces is probably their preference in terms of the way that they would like to have got goals in today's game in terms of hitting on the break. But how much additional time is left in the match for them to try and get a goal?
I think by the time this free kick's taken, a minute and a half, I would say, because the clock's actually gone off the screen because of the foul. Okay, so there's a minute and 15 because of the stoppage for that free kick. The ball has gone long. It's won by a Northern Irish head, but it's immediately cleared. And Jamal Lewis has messed it up, and this is a chance for Austria to counter-attack now, but I don't think they'll be in any rush. But they've passed out a play. So we have 50 seconds left, Josh, and it's a throw-in to Northern Ireland, but deep in their own half. And they just appear to be going backwards at this point, which is a strange decision.
Yeah, very, very strange indeed. As we said, they had to kind of go out and win this game. Even getting a point would have been all right for them, but it'll do them into relegation tonight if they lose this.
I mean, I don't know if it would, because I don't know. Aren't they still 3 points behind Romania?
Currently, as it stands with the group, they will be 3 points behind. But if that Romania fixture gets called off and doesn't get played, then it would assume that Northern Ireland are down and out of the Nations League. Yeah,
it all depends on what's going to happen. That because it's one of them. We've never had that before.
Yeah,
and a long ball is absolutely shocking from Northern Ireland, and they've lost this game. And I'm going to say deservedly so, because you shouldn't be capitulating like that at the back so late. Austria take the victory, and nothing less than they deserve.
Well, time indeed. Thank you very much, Kieran. Very greatly appreciate Austria coming back in that game from being 1-0 down, 2 goals late on. Very dramatic end to that game. In fact, 3 late goals for Austria to go and win. So 2-1 there. Thank you very much, Kieran. Just as you said a moment ago, though, Northern Ireland Very disappointed at the end. They had the red card for the one of the staff members. They let the 2 goals in. Just how disappointing has it been tonight for the away side?
Well, it was kind of going towards the game plan, really, until around that 80th minute mark. They were 1-0 up. They'd not been in the game, but I came to you at half-time, Josh, and I said this is what they were playing for. They were playing for that 1-0. They had it within their grasp, and they just poured defensively and threw it away. Yes, one of them were offside, but you've got to switch on to loose balls in the box, and they didn't quite do that tonight. And they still have a chance, and I'm going to give it a little bit of that because we don't know what's going to go on with Norway-Romania, but maybe if they get relegated, next time the Nations League comes around, it'll be really crucial for them to try and maybe win that group and then get straight back up into this league again.
It's certainly make it more competitive as well, with some maybe teams a bit more better to their standards to play against. But unfortunately for Northern Ireland tonight, not necessarily doomed to relegation yet, of course, because of the game between Norway and Romania not being played. But it's looking very unlikely that they'll be staying up. Thank you very much, Kieren. We'll bring you back at the end of the stream. So that is full time across the board for tonight's games. Let's go through the boys very quickly and talk about their matches. So Czech Republic and Israel. Will, very unfortunate indeed for Israel tonight. 1-0 defeat, down to 10 men. When you actually look at the group, very disappointing for them in the context of they could have gone tonight from being in a potential battle to top the group. And well, you can see on the screen now, they're third. They're fighting for survival.
Yeah, it was just a very flat performance from Israel. They didn't really seem up to the races. Conceded early. Czech Republic dominated the majority of the second half. Majority of the first half. Majority of the second half was actually played really well by Israel, but they just failed to create any real chances. Zahavi had that big chance when he just completely mishit the ball. He had that other opportunity towards the end of the game when it was great save by the keeper. But other than that, nothing really special from Israel in the attacking phase, and it's left them now with a battle to stay up in League B with Slovakia. Yeah,
no pressure on them as well, because they're going to face off against Scotland, who, of course, are going to have to try and win that game with Czech Republic playing Slovakia to stay up. And, of course, it does mean the great thing, I guess, is that all 4 matches really means something for all 4 teams. And, of course, it's going to be a battle for survival and a battle for promotion. But unfortunate tonight for Israel. Thank you very much, Will. Should be a good game between Scotland and Israel, which I think is on Tuesday night. So we'll have to see, of course, what happens there. But bring you back in a moment. Will, Czech Republic tonight with a big win. 1-0 against Israel. Let's move on to the next game now. Italy facing off against Poland. It was a 2-0 victory tonight for Italy in their game. As you can see with the group, they currently sit top of the group. And well, Kieran, now it's going to be interesting because their next game that they play, Italy, is against Bosnia. You would surely expect now for Italy to finish top of the group.
I mean, it's all in their hands, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Unless some monumental F-up happens, I think we'll see Italy going through to the knockout stages, of course. It won't be easy against Bosnia. They're a hard team to break down, but, the 9 goals they've conceded doesn't say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. But tonight, they were by far and away the better side, but I think they really need to start putting away more of their chances, because there were times tonight they could have been 4 or 5-0 up, and they were very, very wasteful in front of goal.
Which is unfortunate indeed, because, I mean, other teams potentially could have brought down that Italy side, got back into the game. But as for Poland tonight, well, it was just a really poor performance. I just thought very quickly, I'll get up the stats for the game. 2 shots, none on target. A very poor performance tonight from a team that has the greatest striker in the world up top.
Yeah, I mean, they've not got a bad side on paper, have they, if you look at it, really. Disappointing tonight, but they've still got a chance in this group. They just need Bosnia to beat Italy, and they need to do the job of the Netherlands.
Exactly. It should be a good game indeed. Italy-Bosnia, it really is all in Italy's hands now. Netherlands-Poland, of course, will just be a battle for both sides to try and win the game and hope that Italy loses. But as for now, thank you very much, Katie. Bring you back in a moment. Italy with a 2-0 win against Poland. And then, of course, we'll go over to Rowan now, because Denmark, another game with late drama, Rowan. Denmark coming back into the game. Iceland losing another match. They're going to finish the bottom of the group with 0 points. How big is that win for Denmark?
It's huge for Denmark, but even worse for Iceland. I mean, the Icelandic team would have been so happy with the draw, but 2 defensive mistakes. First penalty a bit ambiguous, but because he's given in the second one, it is a flailing arm. on either side of the game. Sorry, 12th minute and the 90th plus second minute. It's huge for Denmark. That Belgian game's going to be fun. It really is. It'll mean everything.
It definitely will. It is a case, of course, winner takes all. Belgium just need a point in that game to pretty much secure the top spot. But Denmark, if they can pull off the results that they have, of course, beating England at one point, then you never know. We could be saying at the end on Wednesday that Denmark are through into the knockout stages of the Nations League, which would be a surprise. But, of course, the other game that I watched was Belgium-England. Belgium, of course, beating England quite comfortably. A poor performance tonight from England means that their campaign is now over. They can't get relegated. Neither can they, of course, go into the knockout stages. It's a poor performance from England. Yeah, very, very mediocre indeed. I mean, they had more possession, more opportunities in the game, but they just couldn't get that lacking edge. And unfortunately for them, it does mean that the game ends 2-0 and England's campaign is over. So the full-time scores, thank you very much, Rome, by the way. Bring it back in. Actually, I keep it on screen. Actually, bring boys in a second. Full-time across the board, as I said. Belgium 2, England 0. Italy 2, Poland 0. Denmark 2, Iceland 1. Czech Republic 1, Israel 0. Austria 2, Northern Ireland 1. And then some of the other games that went on, Hungary 1, Serbia 1. Moldova 0, Greece 2, Slovenia 2, Kosovo 1, and then, of course, Romania, Norway cancelled due to COVID-19. So there's a look at the groups. Just very quickly, let's bring the boys back in for the last bit of the stream here. As you can see, that is match day 5, done and dusted in the Nations League. It means that going into the final kind of match day of action, League A Group 1 is wide open with 3 teams. Group 2 is open with 2 teams fighting for the top spot. Group 3 is wide open with 2 teams going for the top spot. Group 4 is wide open with 3 teams going for the top spot. And then even when you go into League B, of course, Group 1 still technically open if Norway play their match. Group 2 still open. Group 3 still open. Group 4 pretty much done and dusted apart from the Wales one. As you can see, it's a very, very even tournament and lots of teams really tight, which should surely mean, boys, we get some good match day 6 fixtures.
You'd hope so.
Well,
fingers crossed.
Teams have to go for it now, don't they? If they want to win the group, teams like Ukraine, Poland have to go for it now.
Exactly.
Teams care about it. And look at some of the games; they weren't really the best today, apart from maybe late on. Do teams really care?
I think they should care.
Could you say, potentially, now we're at the final match day, and basically it is a case now of winner takes all in some situations, that teams will take that last game maybe a little bit more seriously than the other games that have been played? Because I guess when you look at match day 2 or 3, you're slap bang in the middle. There's a long way to go. You can claw back. For teams, as you perfectly said, Kieran, teams like Poland and teams like Denmark, do they go gung-ho in that last game? Because it's a big opportunity for them to get into a knockout stage of a pretty new competition.
What have they got to lose?
That's it. But during the Euro playoffs, I thought every game would be full of goals and everyone trying to go for it. And that was the complete opposite. No one wanted to lose. So I don't know. I think in the Nations League it should be different because there's not as much on the line. But I just, there's always that other side of the coin you've got to think about.
I think it's
very true.
Just look how many injuries there are. Do you think players will want to give it the 100% if they've seen how many injuries are already going? And they want to give it 100%, then get injured and they can't play the rest of the season because of obviously the fixed congestion.
I mean, it's a very fair point indeed. I mean, hopefully, in an ideal world, we sit here on Wednesday night and we look at these last games and we say, do you know what, they've been fantastic. There's been lots of action and lots of goals. But of course, we've still got more content to come on the channel over the next couple of days. As I said a moment ago, we're back on Tuesday night with match day 6 action on the 17th of November, 7:30, kickoff at 7:45. Let's hope we get some good games, including a big game between Croatia and Portugal. Wednesday night, we're back on the 18th of November with the final set of UEFA Nations League fixtures before club football is back. Friday night, 7:45, first league game of the season. Monaco take on PSG. What the game that'll be. And then the weekend, still to be confirmed, some games that might be going on in the background, but Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City is on the 21st of November at 5:15. And then after that, at 10 to 8, Atletico Madrid versus FC Barcelona. As I said before, still maybe some games to be confirmed. It's a hectic weekend of action indeed. We've also got F1 content as well. If you missed out on that Turkish race and you want to kind of have Rowan's reactions, that's available on the channel as well now. We've got the new Football Manager 21 beta series. That's up on Monday with the second episode. And then, of course, on Tuesday, Rowan and Simon are back early in the morning for the Wrestling Corner, so keep your eyes out for that. But as for now, boys, thank you very much, Will, Rowan, KD, and Kieran, as always.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you very much indeed. We hope you enjoyed the Goal Show. If you're new, as always, do leave a like, subscription. As always, very greatly appreciated as we push towards 1,300 subscribers. But as for now, have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and we hope to see you again soon. Good night.